for those that, and I don't know if you caught it.
Can't hear. I can't hear.
Fester. No, you can't hear me. Shit. So you can't hear me.
I can hear you.
You can't hear. Okay, stand by a second.
Can you hear me?
Fuck me. Son of a fuck.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah.
You can hear me? Let me
Okay.
jump out
Hang
and
on.
jump back in.
Oh,
See if
yeah.
that'll work. Let me do that.
Okay. Hey, okay. Can y'all hear me on YouTube? Can you hear me? I need to know that. Got Sacktown in here. Andrew Naria over there on the other channel. Yeah, Big Luck says yes. Sharif says arg. I'm hearing that. So that's good. If you're over there on Instagram and also on Facebook, the music is way. I got you, Richard, but it's one of those things because you're hearing it from the microphone. Okay, loud and clear. Thank you. And I'm gonna bring Tom back on.
Still can't
because Tom, you still can't hear me.
Still can't hear you.
Fuck, man. What do you suggest, Tom? Because I thought it was me. You know, it's not you, it's me. But if there's something going on, Bruce, say loud and clear. So and the people over there can hear me. You want to bounce, do a full reboot and see if that helps. Oh, Raider Shield says check the earbuds and reset them. Well, okay. Since we did that, and remember on this show, you need to be ready at all times because that is not wrong fucking hand. That is not T3 Tom Jones, aka Raider Fester. That is 93 Nabman, a Raider Shield family. Okay, so and by the way, we are pushing this on the channel. Yes, sir.
Silver and black though. Silver and black right here.
I got you. And we so
hey,
sir.
Go ahead and put me backstage, man. I know your plan is to have Tom on there at first, so
yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to see if it's not you, it's me. But we found out that it really was. Yeah.
It's on Tom's end. For
okay. Sure. We'll bring Tom in. Let's see if he got his shit squared away.
I'm
Tom,
here.
did you?
Oh, there we go.
You're here.
I'm here. Yeah.
Can you hear me? This fucking Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. I just
all
got
right.
rid of the earbuds.
Okay. Shipmate, we are gonna be joined in this show by that really good-looking guy in the middle.
Who?
We're gonna be joined by that guy. Yeah, you. Yeah.
Hey, punch me off here, Tom.
Up.
Good to see you.
Okay.
See you in a bit, bro. See you in a bit. Go ahead and punch me out of here.
All right, brother. You will have. You got it. 93 Nabman will be joining us in a bit. I'm looking at who else is over here because again, and this is an endeavor. I told Tom I did this as well. This is YouTube / Facebook of I think it's the Captain Jack Rackham page, as well as X, as well as Navman's YouTube channel, and I appreciate that. So we got some people that are actually watching over here. We got Instagram, and right there we have my Facebook profile page. So it's a lot of shit going on, but I'm trying to make the best of it. But now that you can hear me, because I was afraid, and I got to ask you, what happened at the beginning of the show was I was in the wrong studio, and it kicked me to the wrong studio, and I didn't realize that when I started the show. So I started the one entry, and I'm like, oh, wait a second, if I not reboot, but if I hit the circular thing to go back on the page, then it hit me into the right studio. So if you guys,
we were fine with the audio at first, and then it lost. So yeah, so I figured to make it easy, I just pop the earbuds out and just do the standard mic through the computer.
Yeah, and I'm happy because Marshy hit a home run, so the Phillies are now winning 2-1. So that makes me happy. I gotta be happy about some things.
I've been watching the Commanders against the Patriots, our week 1 opponent versus our week 3 opponent, and New England is just having their way with the Commanders right now.
Ooh, okay. And is that with their first string against the Commanders' first string? Because if that's true,
it was their first string against the Commanders. Sat a lot of their starters, so yeah. I think New England initially sat a lot of theirs too, but I know Drake May, their quarterback, started, and he guided them at least through the first quarter. He got a running touchdown. The Patriots scored on a 100-yard kickoff return on the opening kickoff.
Okay.
So,
well, that just means that the special teams were not up to par, especially if it's on the first kick. Okay.
I've seen highlights of a couple already, and it's sloppy play across the board right now. I think from what I'm seeing, a lot of the players just weren't used to tackling all the way to the ground, and seeing that in several games now where the tackling is just not good.
Yeah, and it was horrible, and we're going to talk about ours as well, because I was on the phone with Ed Winchell I think 3 times today, and Ed's good. Ed's good for a phone call every day, but Ed called me 3 times. Well, we talked fantasy football for one of them, but I want to say, by the way, Kaylee, good to see you, Kaylee and Richard and all the people that's over there on my Facebook. I can actually see the comments because I'm doing it with the tablet. I figured out that's the only way I can see that. But if you want to see Tom, aka Raider Fester, or if you want to see, the Nav Man, you got to go to YouTube. I keep saying this again and again and again. All you see is my face and my belly on these tablets. Okay, you can see.
Jack's freezing up.
Whole screen.
Jack, you're doing the whole slow motion on the moon thing. You are freezing up.
Ooh, I got the spinning circle.
So Captain Jack is pretending like he's walking on the moon. So we're experiencing technical difficulties.
Okay. I gotta ask Tom, because
I'm catching about every other word you're saying right now.
Yeah. What happened is, and I saw the spinning circles of death. I said, wow. So I also know that when I have the tablets on, it's gonna suck power off the bandwidth. So I got rid of the other screen. So the thing you learn things, ladies and gentlemen. So I got the only one I got on is this one. So I'm doing that. And so again, you were every and that's what she said. For sure. Give me all of the quick thing, because you were talking about shitty tackling. And I saw a lot of that last night, especially with
the Raiders. To be honest with you, the defense starting off reminded me of the 2006 Raiders. And the 2006 Raiders couldn't stop a cold. And again, what we saw is in the initial there was not a lot of big push from the defensive front. The ends were just not containing. There was just not any contain there, and there was little run support coming up from the corners and the safeties, and the linebackers were they were 5 steps too slow all game. I saw and poor Matt Jones, and I know he's a guy that he's a camp body. He shares my last name, but I swear I knew exactly who it was because I saw the back of his jersey practically the entire time he was on the field chasing after plays. It reminded me of Corey Littleton. I would always see number 58 Littleton running down the field chasing after a play. You just can't have that. I mean, the linebackers, and again, we didn't see out there, Pratt and E-Rob and Devin White. So I think they're going to make a big difference, I hope, down the road. But Darian Porter got caught a couple of times where he bit trying to support the run and got gashed. He wasn't the only one. That's going to happen with rookies, but it just wasn't good. Now they played better in the second half, but I think the Seahawks picked up something like 160 yards rushing in the first half, something like that. I mean, they ended up with almost 200 rushing, but it was almost like 160 in the first half. It was awful.
Yeah, and even with the rushing, like say for example, the Seahawks' first touchdown. The only I'm trying to think. I know the guy. I remember the guy who pushed him out of bounds at the end. I know that it's somebody that I should know, but then obviously when you see the replay and the officials got it right, when he was in the air, his feet or any other part of the body did not touch an end line or a sideline. So when he's in the air and he hits the pylon, that's a touchdown. Mm-hmm. So when they came back from commercial, it was all she wrote said, yeah, that's a touchdown. So
right. they were on top of that. And again, they made the right call on that. And of course you could see when they did the replay, they called it correct. So have no complaints on that.
Rushing. And I said, they gashed. They gashed.
The complaints I have were the 2 awful throws by Aiden O'Connell. They were horrible throws. I mean, I think I probably could have made a more accurate throw than that. The first interception, it might as well have been a punt. He just threw it up for grabs. I mean, he had Dante Thornton open and underthrew him by probably 10 yards.
Right. And I said that again. I don't know if you saw the show that I had with Miss Peggy the other night. Because there's 2 examples. And I said, we have the receivers that we can do the long 9 patterns and they can beat coverage. Thornton beat the coverage. Okay. Mm-hmm. He beat the coverage, and O'Connell, I guess it must have been 10 yards short because it took Thornton. He tried to even come back and he had to go through the other, the defensive back to try to get it. And he didn't get it. It was, for the interception. And
the pass looked like a punt. The pass looked like a punt. He just rainbowed it, and the defensive back was just sitting back there waiting on it, almost like he was ready to receive a punt.
Fair catch. That's what it was. Yeah. Hey, Valerie, good to see you. Come on over to YouTube, Valerie.
I will tell you, I was pleased. I was pleased with Isaiah Polamalu. That was a really fantastic interception, which kept the score down early. I mean, it could have gotten out of hand even quicker than it did. But thank goodness for that. I think if his instincts continue on like this, the Raiders are going to get way more than 13 turnovers this year. They only ended up with 13 total. They're going to end up with a lot more than that. So if we can continue to get good experience with Darian Porter. I was surprised. I'll be honest with you. I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised to see Ja'Cory Bennett traded this past week. Now, good things on the defensive front. The defensive front certainly benefits with that move. Ja'Cory Bennett was a guy who was looking like he was struggling a little bit, and it might have ended up being just a depth piece. So you trade that for a guy who can instantly now come in and make some noise on the defensive front. I mean, that's going to benefit you in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and the other thing is that people are poo-pooing the gentleman that we got in return. And actually, I was on the show. I was actually on with Angelo the other night because we were talking about the Bennett trade even before the game. So that would have been Wednesday. We were talking about the fact that, the trade had gone in and people were like, I'll say it, fuck. The Raiders got fleeced again. Our best cornerback, which may be true, or at least at the time, our best cornerback was gotten rid of for a rotational piece. But you got to understand, though, that the Eagles play the rotation amongst their defensive linemen so that they have the best capacity to be fresh for the game. That's why the Eagles defense is so high-powered and prolific in getting after the quarterback and getting the sacks and getting the interceptions and all that they do, because their line, they have great people amongst the defensive line. So when you take one out, you might be taking out a starter, but you got a guy that's almost as good as he is coming in. So
Booker, I think, is going to be a really, really good piece. And you mentioned it, Jack. I mean, he comes from Philadelphia. Philadelphia had probably the best top to bottom defensive line in the NFL. And when you bring a guy who's not getting a lot of snap time, it doesn't mean that he's not a good player. It just means he's got a lot of good depth in front of him. So he's been able to make plays coming in. I think this is a guy who I can get excited about. He's quick. He's quick off the snap, which is something that's going to benefit both Kuntz and Max. If you can get somebody coming in, maybe not a 3-down guy, but maybe a 2-down guy. Maybe he comes in. He's not going to be your run stuffer, but if you can get somebody who can shoot those gaps quick, that's just as good. You can stand up an offensive lineman, or you can shoot the gap. If you can shoot through the gap and make it into the backfield, either before the handoff or disrupt the play in some way, shape, or form, frustrate or make the quarterback panic and throw him out of his rhythm, that's a big, big thing. I'm not saying that Booker can do that all the time, but he's got the capacity to do that, which is something that this defensive line has been missing.
Hey, I want to address this. Sharif, how many teams was Rich Gannon on before he went to the Raiders and became the offensive MVP? How many teams?
I know he was at least with Minnesota and Kansas City.
Okay, so that would be it. And so it was actually, he played for the Redskins too. Played for the Redskins, played for Kansas City, he played for Minnesota, and then he comes to the Raiders. Okay, so we were the fourth team. So just because Booker's been on 3 teams already, okay, that just means that his niche was not found correctly for those teams. He had the right niche for the Eagles, and we gave the Eagles something that they needed in a cornerback. Okay, so don't poo-poo the fact that Booker's been on 3 teams. I mean, you'll throw an analogy out there, and I'll come back with it. Am I saying that Booker's going to be the defensive player of the year? No, but if he is the guy that comes in here and does the job, then now that makes it easy. Like I said, Ja'Cory was not going to be a starter by the temptation. I got you. But it was the slant. It was the slant, Sharif. I know you too well, brother. I know you too well when you say things like, see, I know you and I know Jimmy Farrell, so I know by how you write shit. I can actually hear the words coming out of your mouth in the comment section. But that's
all right.
all.
Speaking of the defensive backfield, how big of a bullet did we dodge this past week? We knew that Nate Hobbs was probably going to get a big contract and wasn't going to be coming back to the silver and black. But lo and behold, now he's down with a knee injury. His return is questionable this year. He's at least done through the first half of the season. So Green Bay picked him up. They paid a lot of money for him. Far be it from me to criticize Hobbs for making his money, because again, you want the player to make as much money as he can, but again, there's that injury history. Injury can just if you have an injury history, that follows you around everywhere you go. And Corey and Bennett was starting to get that because he just couldn't stay on the field. So I think part of the attrition there, and the reason why the trade made such good sense, is because you're bringing in a guy who does not have the injury history and can provide a good, solid depth piece along that defensive front. And in exchange, you're getting rid of a guy who was a backup piece, but was not healthy.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but and again, it's not that, because I was singing the praises of Bennett when we drafted him out of Maryland, I believe. Correct?
Maryland. Yep.
And the guy that was on the other side in Maryland was the first round pick at cornerback. And everybody, and again, don't remember who the guy is, but Bennett played on the other side. And everybody was always slobbing the knob of the cornerback that was taken in the first round. There was both Turpin as well. But Bennett had about the same numbers as the first round guy. And in fact, it was actually even quicker on the 40, I believe. Okay. So that's just what's going on. So the fact is that, hey, Carol Tia, good to see you. Come over to YouTube, because I can see everybody's comments on YouTube, and you're only seeing me. You're not seeing the guests that are here. But, availability is the best ability. And unfortunately, like you said, he had shown in the 2 years that he was here that he was going to miss at least half the season by, if you go by what the parameters were saying. He was not a prototypical defensive back in the mold of what Pete Carroll, likes. So we got somebody that we needed as a defensive tackle for a player that was going to be a fringe or player that might not have even played. And I even made the example the other night. If Amik Robertson was 6 foot tall, he would be a perennial Pro Bowler, but he's small. And God love him, but he just does not have the height intangibles. He can jump, which is why he is as good as he is. He can jump to make up for that. But after a while, if you're jumping all the time, you kind of, your legs get shot by the end of the fourth quarter.
I'll tell you what cost Amik Robertson a spot on the team, and I'll be brutally honest with you. Amik Robertson was good, and if he had any support at all in the linebacking core, he would have been a much better player. But he was having to chase plays out of position that the linebacker should have been able to make. He should have been in a position where he could easily clean up or hang back for an interception, but he was having to run all over the field, and poor Jonathan Abram. I like Jonathan Abram's work ethic. I really did, and I like the spirit that he had. But he wasn't a good player. And I'll again, no shade thrown to him, but he was not good. He would commit to the run, and he would overcommit, and he'd come running up to the play to stop it, and they'd run past him, or he would commit to the pass, turn his back to the play, and then the player with the ball would be chasing him down the field. He'd have his back turned. So, just it wasn't good all the way around.
Yeah.
And that was a total waste of a first round pick.
Yeah, it was. And it was at the time where and it was like the Raiders were going to fuck up their first round pick. I mean, for years and years and years. And we didn't, the 1 year that we didn't fuck up the first round pick was because those were the picks that we gave away for Adams. So,
2022.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that the last 2 years, though, our first round picks, Bowers, can't say we screwed that one up. Yeah. And Genty, which is the best running back in the draft. The only problem with the Genty pick, and I said this on draft night, is that God help us if we can't block for him. And we saw a bit about that the other night.
Yeah, the offensive line had a rough start. Now again, they played better. Chris Collier was kind of the beneficiary toward the end. And again, here's a sneaky guy. Here's a guy that not anybody's been talking about. He's possibly number 2 on the depth chart. So if you're taking a look at it, you've got your 3 backs that are going to make the team, definitely. So you have Genty, obviously, and then Mostert, and then maybe Zamir White. So if those 3 make the team, if the team is only going to carry 4 running backs, who is going to be that 4th back? Chris Collier, I think, did a lot of good for himself in terms of making the team. If not, I think he certainly is going to get picked up by somebody else. Now we shall see. I like Sincere McCormick a lot. He's done a lot to come back from injury, so I really like his prospects of being able to make the team. But I don't know at this point because again, you've got some competition.
Yeah,
I think it's probably going to come down and Dylan Laube. I didn't mention him either. So you've got Dylan Laube. So if you're looking at 4 who probably will make the team, if you're going with just 4 running backs, it's probably going to be Genty, Zamir White, Raheem Mostert, and Laube. So if you're looking at that, if you're looking at just carrying 4 running backs, Chris Collier and Sincere McCormick are both going to be open for other teams. Now, you could try to stash Chris Collier on the practice squad. I don't think you're going to get both Collier and Sincere McCormick on the practice squad if you just stick with 4. But we'll see. I mean, do they go with one of those 2 guys and try to stash them, or do they try to do a trade? I don't know.
Hey, I got to ask you, Tom, because you have Zamir White making this team as the 3rd running back. Why? And I just said,
I just said pencil in. I just said pencil in. Now, here's the thing about it. When you have Pete Carroll coaching this team, Pete Carroll's all about competition, and he's proven that. And all we have to do is look back to the very beginning. The Seattle Seahawks, back when he was coaching the Seahawks, they brought in a high-priced free agent quarterback to take over that team by the name of Matt Flynn. Raider fans probably remember Matt Flynn because when he not only didn't make the starting to take over the starting role for the Seahawks after they signed him, when Russell Wilson took over, all of a sudden Mr. Flynn's contract became expendable and he was out the door. And then guess where he ended up? Oakland.
Just in time to come in and be what it was like a Matt Schaub, Matt Flynn, and some guy by the name just for you, Sharif, a guy by the name of Derek Dallas Carr. Okay.
No. Carr didn't come until 2014.
Well, I was going for that he came in. I know it was Matt Schaub and Carr, and Schaub was supposed to be the starting quarterback, and Carr kicked Schaub's ass out the fucking window. Yeah, and the other thing about Matt Flynn is, who can play Matt Flynn in the Matt Flynn story?
Who?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Okay. All right.
Because they look exactly alike.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. Yeah. I was trying to remember 2013, the 2013 season. The starting quarterback was Terrell Pryor. That's right. So I was trying to remember Al Davis's last draft pick.
Last draft pick. Yeah.
And I think he got a little bit of a raw deal too, because he took over the quarterback spot 2013, and I think he was not given every opportunity to hang on to that role. Now, of course, Derek Carr came in later and took it over for the next 9 years, but that's all history.
Does Terrell Pryor still have the longest run by a quarterback for a touchdown?
He does.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And you know what upsets me about that play is I was in Guantanamo at the time, and I get to the sports bar, and the fucking bartender didn't put the game on in time. So I'm sitting down, I'm ready to watch the game, and I'm looking up at the TV, and I'm like, yo! And I was pissed. I was like, because they knew. I said, hey, where's the Raiders game? It says Raiders Steelers on the little card on the bottom.
Yeah.
Where's the game? And it's like, oh man, I'm sorry. And by the time they turned it on, I'm seeing Pryor on the bench high-fiving with the team. So I never even got a chance to see the fucking touchdown live.
Here's the hell of it, Captain Jack. If you'd told them you were a Steelers fan, they would have turned it right on.
Yes, they would have. Yes, they would have, for sure.
We get no respect, as Rodney Dangerfield said.
Hey, I tell you, I get no respect. Vinny Boombots. You know Dr. Boombots. There you go. Anyway, so what were your
don't know who Rodney Dangerfield is?
Yeah, look up Rodney Dangerfield, folks. You'll understand what I'm saying. What were some of your, and I will say this, the other people that stood out, first off, and I was going to say Jimmy Farrell addressed it already, and it was the fact that Cam Miller looked, I'm going to say it, Cam Miller looked great. Now, granted, Cam Miller is going up against third and fourth string people, but I also think that if he comes in and looks that well with the command of the offense, I want to see what he does earlier in the game, because I've always been an O'Connell fan, but O'Connell did not look good the other day. Like I said, he threw 2 crappy interceptions, and the second one, he was just looking, he looked at the guy the entire time. Just look. He didn't look off of him. He didn't look away. He looked at the guy who fucking got the interception. So he's got to stop that.
They brought Miller in at a good time. It's tough to bring a rookie in and have him start right away and get up to speed with NFL action. But the thing that I liked is that when they brought Miller in, the game was well enough underway. The flow of the game was already established. So Miller could just kind of come in and do his thing. He didn't have to really worry or stress too much and put the team on his back. He could just kind of freewheel and run the plays and do what he needed to do. The game was still close enough at that point that it wasn't a blowout. But again, it wasn't like the team was trying to hoist them up on top of his back and have him lead them. So I think he will do better. I think you'll see more. What will benefit him, I think, is with the joint practices between the Raiders and the 49ers, they're going to see the same people that they're going to see all week. And I think you'll probably have the coaches, I think, will probably work closer together and organize certain packages and say, okay, we want to see this, we want to see this, we want to see this. So I think it'll be just a series of one-upmanship. Who did a better job during the week? Can we put that on the field and outdo each other? So I think this is going to be a much friendlier competition than Raiders 49ers games of yore, where they were trying to bite each other's heads off like the raw chickens and blood and everything else. I think this is going to be a much tamer version. The rivalry's still there, but I think it's going to be a much friendlier and much more competitive game than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm looking to watch a great game because, and by the way, this plug, I will be in Myrtle Beach with Hollywood and a lot of the East Coast Raider Nation fans. There's a Raider Nation event in Myrtle Beach. Come on down, Tom. It's only what, 3-4 hours away?
It's further than that. Otherwise, I would be there. So it's more like 8 hours.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then you're excused. But I will be there at Myrtle Beach for a Raider Nation event. For there, we'll be watching the game, and it'll be cool, you know. And I'm not going to be all jazzed up, you know. I'll probably wear. It'll be like a Captain Jack Light outfit, you know. I'll wear my hat and my vest, and go from there. You know, maybe I'll throw a skull on, but I won't have
Do you
to.
have a Raider camp T-shirt or camp shirt rather, like bowling shirt? We need to get you one of those.
Yeah, I got a bowling shirt, a Raider bowling shirt.
There you go. That'll work.
All right. Well, if I wear it then, and they say, "Why aren't you wearing your shit?" I said, "Well, Fester said I could."
There you go. Absolutely.
So, we'll see.
Yeah, but I'll tell you another player who I've been very pleasantly surprised by, who is now starting to make some inroads toward making the team. And it's a guy who was totally not on my radar at the beginning of training camp. And that's 6th-year wide receiver Alex Bachman.
Yes, sir.
Bachman has made a lot of progress in camp, and I think he needed that energy that Pete Carroll has supplied him to come in, re-energize his career, and he might end up being, if they keep 6 receivers, he might end up being that 5th or 6th receiver that they end up keeping. He's been making a name for himself for special teams as well. So if you're looking at the receivers, if they keep 6, the way it stands right now, you've got Jacoby and Trey and Dante Thornton. So those are 3 right there.
Right.
You're going to keep the rookie. Trey Tucker comes back, and of course, Jacoby is your number 1. Now, as far as the rest, Jack Besh is going to make the team. He's your 2nd-round pick. So there's number 4, and then your 5 and 6 receivers. Another guy who's really making a name for himself is Shedrick Jackson.
Yeah, I thank you. I was going to say he was the game. He was the game the other night. As far as
if you have Shedrick Jackson, then that leaves that 6th spot open because you've still got Tommy Mellott. Mellott is going to make the team if he does as a wide receiver because he does a lot with special teams as well. So somebody's going to be on the bubble there. You know, you've got Bachman, you've got Mellott, you've got Shedrick Jackson. Those are the guys I see right now. So if you have Besh, Tucker, Myers, and Dante Thornton, you have those 4. Then 2 of the 3, Mellott, Shedrick Jackson, and Alex Bachman. So 2 of those 3 guys make the team, and 1 maybe makes the practice squad. Maybe you can stash Shedrick Jackson on the practice squad like they did last year. They picked him up in November, or so I'm thinking that's Chris Collier. They did that, so they picked Collier up last November and stuck him on the practice squad. So yeah, Jackson they brought in during the offseason. But again, 2 of those 3 guys probably make the team. 1 probably doesn't. I'm not sure you want to stash a guy like Mellott on the practice squad. He's a very versatile guy. I think he could easily get poached from another team, and that's what you have to be strategic on. Cam Miller is probably gonna. I don't know. It depends on if they go with 3 quarterbacks. If they don't go with 3 quarterbacks, I don't think that Cam Miller is going to make it to the practice squad. I think another team will pick him up.
No, see, I disagree in this respect, Tom. Is if Cam Miller shows out and and by the way, Biggie Bronco, this is part of what your question is here. Okay, if Cam Miller shows out and he's got 2 more games to do it, plus of course the practices that we don't see. If Cam Miller shows out and they might go through the process of saying, you know what, we got to keep him. Now the question is, do we keep Aiden O'Connell or not? because if Miller shows the propensity to take everything that Chip Kelly has in that system, yes, I know he's a rookie. I get it. But there's a reason why we picked up Cam Miller and not the kid that played for Chip Kelly at Ohio State that ended up going to the Steelers, because we see what he has hit up here as well as his physical tools as well. If he can show that, they might say, AOC, we want to see what we can get for you, and somebody might need a backup quarterback. And at that time, they might shop him. Otherwise, I think they're going to keep 3 quarterbacks, and there's going to be 50 other players that they keep. And that's one of those things you're talking about there, Big E. Stock up is Cam Miller, the quarterback that we drafted this year.
And as well as I do, the quarterbacks go down during the course of the season. I think it would be too much for us to ask for Geno Smith to make it through all 17 games during the season. So let's say, for instance, he goes down in week 1 or week 2, maybe not for the whole year, but let's say he goes down and all of a sudden AO is the guy. You put him in there, and now Cam Miller's your backup. So if you only go with 2 quarterbacks, one of those quarterbacks goes down, you're hurting, because now you don't have a dependable backup. So if it's me, once again, you're maybe taking a risk, but with 53 guys on the roster, you have to have that quarterback position solidified. And I don't think we're at the point yet where Cam Miller is the drop dead number 2 quarterback. Aiden O'Connell still is, and I'm not sure that Cam Miller is going to show enough during the next 2 preseason games to take over that backup spot. He can continue to progress, but I don't think he's there yet. Now, I think he will get there, but if I had to trot another quarterback other than Geno Smith out right now, it would still be Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, and I understand that, but that's why I said if the Raiders are banking on. And by the way, this is important for Ed Winchell and Jimmy Farrell, because we're talking about quarterbacks and the availability of Geno Smith. If Geno Smith does not play every game, Ed Winchell wins $100. So that's the one thing that we have up on that bet. But getting back to our basics is that I think that maybe, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if you go back to Derek Dallas Carr, who was the rookie that was drafted in the second round. Yeah, second round to like 6th round. I get the difference there. But they kept the rookie over Matt Schaub, and Matt Schaub became the backup. And so if they want to swing for the fences, and if it comes down to, well, maybe they need to keep that extra running back, maybe they need to keep that extra wide receiver, are we going to do that to the detriment of our team? And it becomes a very interesting numbers game. I think that maybe Tommy Millott gets a season-ending hangnail, because Marquette King was on the IR for a year, and we couldn't figure out what the hell he was on the IR for. The reason why he was on the IR is we wanted to keep him because we had the punter out of Texas A&M, whose name I can't remember, the really good punter, but we didn't want to give away Marquette King and keep him on the practice squad, so we IR'd him for a year. So
look at Dalton Wagner. Dalton Wagner was out all year last year with the mysterious injury, and Jack, I hate saying this, but I think Dalton Wagner's playing his last couple of weeks with the Raiders now. You know how much I've liked him. I've liked him since day one, and I've been looking forward to seeing him. And he's just not showing out. He's just not. He's I hate saying this, but as much as I like him, he's going to end up with another team. If he ends up with another team, he may end up on a practice squad somewhere. But I'm not sure that the Raiders will place him on the practice squad if he gets all the way through. He's just not showing out.
Yeah, and you got to have that. He does not have foot speed.
No.
That's what is his I can't remember what the word I'm looking for. It's his kryptonite. Okay,
Yeah.
he's just not fleet of foot, and that he's as big as a house in a mountain, and he can move them in theory, but it kind of takes a while to get there, and that you can't have that in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. But I hate to see him go, but he's going to be going.
Yeah, I think so too. But I want to the other people that I saw that showed out, Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What a pickup. What a pickup. And I'll tell you what, he even when he wasn't playing, he was on the sidelines chirping and energizing those guys. He's going to really help that linebacking core. They've converted him to a linebacker now, and he's going to be playing a lot of snaps in there. And he did well. I mean, for the time he was in there, he had 3 tackles. I mean, that was way up there on the list of the tackles that were made. And of course, of the linebackers that were out on the field, he seemed to be one of the ones that was zeroing in on where he needed to be when he needed to be there.
Yeah. Hey, what was your take on? And I don't remember exactly how to say his name, but Collier Kelly or
Blue Q Kelly.
Yeah, Kid was all over there too.
Or Q Blue, I think.
Yeah.
Let me see. He's listed on the depth chart. He's number 3 on the depth chart, behind Darnay Holmes and Greedy Vance. So again, I don't see him making the team. He's another camp body. He's a guy that could end up on the practice squad, but he's got guys ahead of him that will be there before he is. I think you'll see Greedy Vance.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a practice squad guy. I think he showed out the other day. He really did. He showed up.
Good JT Woods is another guy that I think will probably end up on the practice squad. He's got a lot of potential as a corner. He's green, but he's got a lot of speed, and I think he is one of the guys that can make kind of butter his bread in the special teams as well as from the corner spot.
Well, I did see a lot of Woods. The problem is I saw a lot of Woods' back of the jersey.
Yeah. Again, that's going to happen with young guys. Like I said, it happened with Darian Porter. We'll see if we see a difference between game 2 and game 1. Now, Darian Porter is going to have to show me that, okay, he learned his lesson, that you have to go up when you commit to the run and are going to bite. You need to make sure that you have that outside clamp down, that they're not going to just speed through you and arm tackle or get around you on the side. So let's hope he learned his lesson. But JT Woods, I think, maybe kind of in the same boat. But I think he can play more safety, although they do have him slated as corner. Chris Smith II looked pretty good as well. He may end up being that good, dependable backup in the free safety position to Troy, not Troy Polamalu, Isaiah. I'm thinking about think about the hair guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isaiah Polamalu.
Yeah. Because and nobody has hair. Well, maybe a little bit of me. If you look at me, maybe I have I can do a little. I can do that commercial.
You can do a Head and Shoulders commercial, absolutely.
I definitely could, but yeah. And Polamalu looked like you were saying. Polamalu had a hell of an interception. There were a lot of. There were plays when the Raiders made plays, they were exceptional. I don't know where the fucking seam pass right down the seam. It seemed like every time we ran a seam pattern, it was good for a 15, 20-yard gain. And maybe I don't recall. Maybe I missed it last year when we had a really shitty offensive coordinator. And the Turner father-son combo, but I don't recall that pass working the way it did the other night. I remember at least 4 passes, straight seam pattern, either to a tight end or to a wide receiver that's just cutting down there, that we need to employ that more often. I know you're playing vanilla in the preseason or vanilla, but damn, if you can't use something that works. I remember the first time it actually worked, and I caught a lot of shit when I was talking on doing the play-by-play. I said the tight end he looked like Travis Kelce. He looks around, he finds the area where nobody is at, and he stands there. And that was great for us. So I hope to see it more often.
Yeah. Yeah. But the defensive line, we're going to have to see a lot of improvement right off the bat. We're going to have to see that defensive line hold its own, not get gashed. This arm tackling stuff has got to stop. I mean, we talk about this year in and year out. Jack, I know we've talked about this on numerous shows over the years, and I've been on other shows as well. This is where your defensive line pays dividends. You have to have people that can clog up the middle, stop the run, but also don't arm tackle and don't pussyfoot around with the guys and slap fight the guys that are in front of them. You've got to dominate the offensive line. Al Davis said forever, you have to dominate. You have to knock them back into and put fear into the hearts. You need to be able to look across the line of scrimmage, and that quarterback knows that you're coming and that you're coming hard. We haven't had that. I mean, the opposing quarterbacks have looked across the line of scrimmage. Yeah, okay, it's the Raiders defense. Big deal.
Yeah, we need to instill the old Raider mentality of don't take what they give you, take what you want.
Yeah. Drew Lock had way too much time last night, all night. Fortunately, he didn't light up the scoreboard to the extent that he did. They didn't really need to because they kept the ball on the ground, but he had all day to throw. And you and I know I don't respect Drew Lock very much as far as quarterbacking goes, but you put any professional quarterback back there with that much time, they're going to find openings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it looked like the way that he was playing last night, he looked like the guy that the Broncos actually drafted to be that guy. He never got a chance to do that, and I'm not sure if our Bronco buddies are still here, but he looked actually good. And thank you, Mike, sir, because I wanted to mention that, and I actually forgot about that. I did see Tyree Wilson make some plays last night, he's going to need to do more of that as well.
He's going and we mentioned this on the last show. He is going to have to step up. He's going to have to make a name for himself. He's not just going to have to make plays. He's going to have to make a lot of big time plays. He'll probably have to make some from the edge rushing position, or we're seeing the last of Tyree Wilson. Either he's going to get traded or just dropped altogether. Now, my guess is they'll probably end up trading him if he doesn't make more of a dent than he's making right now. And I like the guy, I really do. I think that he is starter material somewhere in the league. But if they decided to roll the dice with Malcolm Kuntz and think that he's going to be the guy, and then Max on the other side, then there's not enough room for everybody.
And I'm glad you gave me the segue. I don't recall seeing Kuntz on the field, or if he did, he was invisible. I saw Max for a couple plays, and
Max was out for the first series.
Yeah, but he didn't do much. I mean, they actually kind of abused Max on the run because they ran right by him a couple different times. If Kuntz didn't play, that sounds about right, because I was actually looking to see if he was going to be in there. I also know that, and you can back me up on this, I noticed that the left side of the line on the offensive side, they weren't playing either because what was the guy who just got the contract? Miller. Yeah, Colt Miller, and I did not see Parham. So I know I did not see Parham, and I did not see Colton Miller. So that's the left side of the line that didn't play. And maybe that's one. Maybe it's one of the reasons why our star rookie running back had 3 carries for -1 yards. I don't know, but that might be a factor.
Meredith and JPJ were on the field pretty much the whole time next to each other, but a lot of the game, I saw those 2 guys, and then on the other side, you had JPJ at your right guard, but then guard and tackle on the other side were the 2 rookies, Rogers and Grant. So that was your guard tackle combination, and then you had Mumford playing tackle on the other side.
Yeah.
So during a lot of the second half, you had Meredith at center, you had JPJ and who did I say Rogers as your guards, and you had Grant and Mumford as your tackles.
Right, but Mumford started as the left tackle because Colton Miller did not play, and Mumford started as the left tackle. I saw that.
Right. Then they moved him over to right. And then they brought Grant and they brought the 2 rookies in and put them on the left side.
Yeah, I tell you what, those rookies got exposed.
They did.
They got exposed. So they're going to need to work on that. But
yeah.
Anything? Special teams. The Raiders have their, and I don't recall why, but before the end of the first half, they rushed for the field goal, and it looked like crap. I didn't see exactly what happened. Maybe you can enlighten me on that.
It looked, and from what I saw, and I only saw it once, and I didn't do a lot of deep dive analysis on it, but I think things were rushed. And I think it was really just the snap was too quick, and the hole just wasn't down. The hole wasn't down good and solid. And of course, Carlson had to really get it off because the rush was coming, and he had a long kick anyway, and he didn't want to get it blocked. So he had to go ahead and get it up and over. So I don't think the ball was truly set on the ground. So when he kicked it, it kind of it didn't look right.
Yeah,
from the time that he kicked it.
And the last kick was blocked.
It was. The last kick was blocked. They just Seattle has a real tall boy in the middle. They just and of course with a 57-yard kick, the trajectory is going to be low anyway. So you've got to count on the fact that hopefully you don't have somebody reaching their arms way up in the sky and just timing it in the right spot. So it looked like from the way he hit it that if it had the distance, it was certainly online. So he could have made that. But again, you can't rely, and this is something we've talked about over and over and over. You just can't keep relying on Carlson to keep knocking these 57, 55-yard field goals to bail you out all the time. You know, how many times did the Raiders end up with 3 points where they could have ended up with 7? You know, we saw that all through the 22 season, the 23 season. We didn't see enough of anything in 24. I mean, that was kind of a wash.
Yeah.
That whole year.
It's unfortunate because Becky, aka she has a pirate name and I'm forgetting her fucking name. The Velvet. She even said, "Oh my God, it's the same, red zone worries." I really, unless they fucking change things, I'm calling it the dead zone. It's not the red zone. Because every time we get into the red zone, we die. And we can't put points up, whether it's even at best, it's 3. At best, it's 3. But we can't seem to put points up in the red dead zone. And I think that until we change that shit, I'm going to call it the dead zone. And it's unfortunate.
I started referring to the red zone as the Raiders' desert.
That's for sure.
Nothing but sand.
It's horrible. Jimmy Farrell, I think Malott does make the team, but
he will. He will.
He'll
make the team because, like we said, he's their draft. He's part of their draft class, and they saw enough in him to where they're going to bring him in. He's going to be special team guy as well. I think he makes the 53. If he doesn't, he's at least going to get stashed on the practice squad.
Yeah, but him, Malott, and along with Bachman, they're about the same player.
Yeah,
and if Bachman has the injury issues as well, he just can't seem to so he's going to have to shake that. And because we were talking about this the other night on, I can't remember, I've done a lot of shows this week, so I can't remember what night that I was doing this, but
yeah.
If you have that to go by, if they're the same player, then you're probably, and I think it was Peggy and I were talking about it. If they're the same player, then you're going to go with the draft pick because A, he's your draft pick, and B, he's not as the injury prone that Bachman has seemed to be in the past. And I think that, and Bachman's a damn good player. I hope that we can.
The guy I want to see. The guy I want to see is the new receiver they brought in last week, Kawan Baker. I'm hoping that he gets a lot of burn during the San Francisco game. I really want to see what he's got. We shall see. Kadir Ishmael. There's another guy who he's got a lot of talent. I don't know. Ketron Jackson, the other Jackson guy. You've got a lot of talented players on this team. I hope that we get to see a variety of them this coming week versus San Francisco. I think that we will. I think Chip Kelly will probably open up that offense a little bit more and bring in more players and cycle things so we can really see what type of skills each of these players has. So I think you'll see the ball spread around quite a bit. My guess is they'll try to establish the run early and get the backs in, but then I think toward the end of the game you're going to see quite a bit of passing. You're going to see the ball spread around quite a bit, and as the Raiders try to figure out who those six, if they carry six, who those six receivers are going to be.
And I'm going to say this, and I don't want to keep it. Granted, you can stay for as long as you want, but I actually saw, and I don't recall it ever being in the Raiders playbook. I saw 2 tush pushes.
Oh yeah, and neither one were very good.
Well, but the second one at least they gave us, and I will say that they gave us the first down because I don't think he got the first down.
No,
but
neither one were good. They didn't generate much of a push either time.
Yeah. All right.
Aiden O'Connell ran into the wall, and he didn't have anybody pushing him from behind at all.
Yeah, and they got to figure out who the guys are behind, because that's the important part. That's the push of the tush. That's the stuff that's needed more than anything else.
What you do in that situation is you put JJ Pegues behind center.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
You put him behind center, and you put Tonka Hemingway behind him.
Yeah, and God forbid, if Pegues is the quarterback, I know he did it over at was it the Ole Miss or whatever?
Ole Miss, yeah,
and Hemingway has gotten some run on that, no pun intended. Mm-hmm. So that's who you use. You use the guys with beef. Why worry about screwing up your quarterback? I mean, right, I know that we did have. I'm brain farting the guy's name that played for Oregon, Mariota. Yeah, we had Mariota in on quarterback sneaks, but they weren't tush pushes.
Right.
So that's a new. I like the fact that we figured out what might as well do something, but they got to get better at it. That's for sure.
But if we do have another situation like that, if it's me, if I'm Chip Kelly, I'm bringing in JJ Pegues. I'm putting him behind center.
Yeah.
I'm saying, okay, you know what's coming. Stop this.
Yeah. They need to bring. Like I said, they need to have more push behind the tush.
They do. All right, Jack, I'm going to be getting out of here. do you want to try to see? Well, I know the game is next Saturday, I think, against the 49ers. So maybe we'll try to get together Sunday, perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, I'll have the show on Sunday. I will be at Casa de Hollywood East because I will be over there at Hollywood's house. We're driving home from Myrtle Beach, so the Sunday show will be. And I've never been to Hollywood's house in South Carolina, so this will be a brand new experience for me there. But yeah, the Sunday show will be at Casa de Wood in the woods.
In the woods. Well, drive safe, my friend. Absolutely. Or you flying?
No, I'm flying up to see him, and then we're driving. Or actually, this is how I'm driving.
Nice.
Let Wood drive. But yeah, he'll be doing the driving. But yeah, it'll be really nice. It'll be obviously Hollywood and Loretta. And I'm pretty sure, the little one will be there. I will be there. I think we might have a sighting of Rouge if she goes out there. And I'm gonna also hit up, OG Jack Daniels, because he's from South Carolina, and hopefully we'll get a chance to have him come out as well. But I don't know because I haven't heard from him.
Yeah. So, it's going to be interesting to see. So, before I leave, and again, I'm trying to see what the player's name was. I think Terrion Arnold. There's a Lions cornerback, the Lions Falcons game. They suspended the game. The Lions cornerbacks took a knee to the helmet and was motionless on the field. They had to carry him off. So prayers for that young man and his family, and for the fan base. Certainly, you don't want to see major injuries happen at all for any team. And fortunately, the Raiders were able to make it through the week one without any serious things happening. So we'll have to continue to hope that plays in our favor, that we don't have any major injuries. But certainly prayers go out to the Lions for their young man who's dealing with those injuries. Knee to the helmet's never a good thing, and of course you never know whether it's just head or whether it's neck or spine, whatever. It's always a scary thing. So I'll certainly.
They stopped the game for it.
They suspended the game, so I think they were tending to him. I haven't seen anything more in terms of whether starting the game back up, and I think they had to bring an ambulance out, bring the stretcher out, and everything. So that's always serious when that happens. So usually the players take a knee, and then they'll. Okay, so it says here, Lions Falcons forfeit final quarter. So they actually did. They here this is from the Detroit Lions news. Detroit Lions safety Maurice Norris suffered an injury that required him being taken off the field on an ambulance, and both teams opted to essentially end the game. So it was on the first play of the fourth quarter in the Lions versus Falcons game. He appeared to be a very serious injury. He came crashing down from the high safety position to make a tackle. During the play, it appeared that the running back's leg came into violent contact with his head, and then the player went motionless on the field. So the medical crews came onto the field with a backboard. The ambulance came on the field. The entire team came to the center with the coach. The broadcast reported that the young man was at least blinking as he was loaded into the ambulance. But both teams at that point decided, we're one play into the fourth quarter. We're just going to go ahead and call it. So they did end the game.
Yeah, so. I don't know. I don't know if I would told. I told this story. I don't know whether you've heard it, Tom, but I was up in the broadcast PA booth at a high school game, and he was a prized athlete for was it Northeast High School in St. Pete, and he you saw that he was motionless on the field, and the coach went out there, but you also saw like I saw his legs twitch. Okay. And not being of a medical background, I'm like, oh, that's a good sign. That's a good sign that I see the lower body working. So I said, okay, well, that's a good thing. What I did not know is that he had a brain hemorrhage, and he was basically dead from that. But he wasn't dead in the fact that he was still living and breathing, but they did take him off of life support shortly thereafter. When I got, and I went to the game was Friday. I went to the Raider game on Saturday. I flew out for the game. And then when I'm coming back on Monday, I asked the people, I said, hey, how is, I can't remember the young man's name. They said that they told me what had happened, and I felt horrible. The reason why is I was doing both the PA announcing as well as like play-by-play from the PA booth for this high school. And I said, well, that's a good sign that I see his legs moving. And so I felt horrible saying that, not knowing that it was just an involuntary reflex and that he had a brain hemorrhage at that time. So it and I admit this, my mouth fucking engages sometimes without the requisite 2-second delay in thinking, but I did not know at the time. So I'm going to call myself, I fucked up. But getting back to that point, when you see something like that happen, and remember the Lions suffered, I think his name was Mike Utz, was the lineman that had the Mike Utley. There you go. I knew it was you. See,
he was engaged. He was engaged in a block with a player. I think it was from the Jets, and the guy suddenly moved and he fell forward, and his face mask struck the AstroTurf. And when his face mask struck the AstroTurf, it popped the disc in his neck. Basically broke his neck.
Yeah. So it's hard to see that. So I hope that this safety, obviously we'll all say prayers for him that he will come out. You said Terry and Arnold, and I'm like, dude, that's a first.
No. It's Maurice Norris.
Right. No, but originally somebody was talking and said Terry and Arnold, and I'm like, whoa.
I did mention his name. He had a previous injury. I was looking back, and they just had mentioned his name. So
okay. Yeah, but no. Well,
but Dan Campbell, the coach in the presser, said that he's breathing, he's talking, he's got some movement, and now they're running some tests. So that's all good stuff.
Good. Well, blessings, and hopefully we'll hope for the best for him. And again, Tom, aka Fester, thank you for all that. We'll do a show. We'll be there. There you go. I love it. I love it. Fester lives. Fester lives. Got it.
All right, so we'll plan to get together the next Sunday, and hopefully we'll have some more positive things to talk about, and the roster will kind of start coming together.
Yes, for sure, and hopefully we'll get my shipmate back, Navman, because I like it when there are people here. I don't like to be the only guy here. I really don't.
Let's see if we can get my earbuds working next week, and we'll get everything going so we can have the mic and everything going. Yeah,
because I'm like, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. That's unfortunate, but we'll get it right.
All right. Well, listen, take care, Jack. Listeners, thanks for tuning in, and I will look forward to seeing everybody next week. And Jack, you take care. Safe travels to Myrtle Beach.
You got it. Thank you, there, brother. We'll see, and we're looking forward to DC for sure.
Thank you. Coming up. All right, we'll talk to you later.
Hoorah! Thanks again. That is T3 Tom Jones, aka Raider Fester. For those folks that are over here on my side here, because I got my Instagram here, I got my Facebook profile, and I used to always broadcast to the Facebook profile, and I would never see the comments until after, because they didn't show up here on the board. but I do see that the Facebook that I'm doing is my what's it they call it, like a fan page. Those show up, and I thank everybody. So I thank everybody who's on Instagram, on Facebook, on the Facebook fan page, on YouTube, on X, and we have the extra channel, which is Navman's channel, and I always fucking forget what the hell the channel is. What is that channel? Somebody please tell me what the. I'm gonna go back, and maybe I can see it. There's a lot. I see some of the people that are there in on his channel, because they have like the Geomex is there and Hell Raider's there. Sacktown Raider Mike is there. What is that? What is that channel? Okay, I can't remember what the hell the channel is. But hopefully we'll get Navman back, because we all have what we can talk about with the game. And you can't win if you don't block. I mean, it's simple. It comes down to that. The Miller at least got a chance to do some rolling out, whether it was part of the scheme or not. He moved, and that was good. Obviously, Geno Smith, he had 15 yards passing, three for whatever for 15 yards. Yeah, I know E73. I know it's preseason. But hopefully we'll get Navman back, and I've given the word out to Navman, when I gave a couple other people the link. So hopefully we'll have some more people come in, because they have the link. Just going through messages while I'm here. Okay. No Navman. Let me go see. I'm gonna see if I can get him on the message. Like, dude, your channel's here. Captain, where you're staying in New England? 73. I am at the Marriott. Is it Courtyard Marriott? I know it's a Marriott, and and from what I understand, it's in between where the two parties are at, because I know that the Black Hole has their party, and the New England Raider boosters have their party. So I wanted to be, getting a place that was kind of equidistant from each thing. So I will be there with my my scooter. No, I take it back. It won't be my scooter. It'll be my power chair. Oh, in Foxborough? I'm not staying in Foxborough. Yeah, I'm staying in Providence. Yeah, no, I'm not staying in Foxborough. I'm staying in Providence. And I'm sure, I guess we'll figure it out. I'm going to the game somehow. I'll guess I'll catch a ride with somebody. There's a possibility that that Hollywood will be in there for the first game up in Providence, as well as the game. So I'm looking forward. To the first game of the year. I don't want to go up. And yeah, TBH Sacramento, I expected to see more from the starters. I do, because the starters played like shit. They played like shit, and there's no saying anything about it other than we have to show up a little bit more than what we did. It was kind of embarrassing. It really was. It was kind of embarrassing. So let me see here. Okay, yep, I got some messages. I need to get a hold of. Come on. I hope I didn't miss anybody. There you go. Okay. Getting Come on in. Hopefully I'll get a hold of Navman. But yeah, because he has the I will put the link up in a bit. Hey, 73, that would be great. You know, if Wood doesn't go over there, then yeah, for sure. I appreciate the ride. I do appreciate the ride. Any other, words of, because again, you can't, how often or how many times or how different can you state that the Raiders looked, I don't say awful. I mean, Miller's pass to Jackson for the touchdown was great. The pump fake, it held the safety, and then Jackson just went by. I love the pump fake. I can't remember the last time I saw that. I mean, Rich Gannon used to do that all the underwhelming. There you go. Thanks, Sharif. That's probably one of the best terms. Underwhelming. So hopefully we got things going. Is hang on, let's see here. Okay, not in the private chat either. So hopefully we got let me see, because I will put the link up in a minute. But your thoughts of the game. Your thoughts of the game. Underwhelming is definitely there. Mundo, good to see you over there on Instagram. Come on over to YouTube, sir. Come over to YouTube, and you can see the full show. I'm hoping that we will be joined by Navman. I put you saw Navman was in here earlier, so hopefully we will get if the folks that are still is anybody here still here that's watching from that channel? Is anybody here that's still watching from Navman's channel? Let's see here. I know that let me see who is here from that channel. Darren was there around 10 o'clock. Okay. I'm looking at timestamps here. Are they on the other channel? I don't know. They might be. Let me see. Whoop. Let me go put on YouTube. Because if they're broadcasting, that tells me why. That tells me why that they are maybe not on that channel. Okay. Okay. Yep, there you go. Bob's here though. Bob will get on my way with the Asawa, but I'll be coming again. I told you. Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna be joined by Bob for a little while. Bob, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good.
What's going on in your neck of the woods, as they say, on that bad flow commercial?
Yeah, not too much. I'm going to Klamath Falls, Oregon this weekend for some bowling match.
A bowling match. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I do bowling, or I go bowling, I should say. Actually, I think that's how Filipinos call it. You want to go bowling, or we do bowling. No, you play yeah. Bowling. No, you go bowling. You go bowling, and that's one of those things. I don't know if there's oh, that's why. Let's see if it's That's probably why. No, no. Oh, I see. So yeah, he's still broadcasting the bit, but nobody's here. So I just wanted to check to see if we were still on. So Bob,
yeah.
you went bowling. Now you were close. You were closer to the Seattle game being up there. Did you have any thoughts of going up there?
No, no, it's too far of a distance, especially and then I had to work.
Yeah, well, if you don't have work to cover the tickets and the distance, so I definitely understand that. So, but did you get a chance to see it up there? And the reason why I asked is Ed Winchell was in Sacramento, and he said that the NFL Network just rebroadcast the game that they had earlier. They did not show the Raiders game, probably because of the blackout. Did you see the game?
Oh yeah, I went to my buddy's house and he streamed it and he got the NFL Network and we saw play by play up live.
Okay, well then, what are your thoughts on the way the Raiders play? And we're being brutally honest. We're trying to think of the right adjectives, and Shreve said underwhelming is a good one because they didn't really show a lot. They had a couple of people that made. I mean, Polomal's interception was great. Okay, the touchdown that Cam Miller threw to Jackson was great. A couple of the seam passes, I recall at least 4 of the seam passes being great. Those were great. I don't think I saw, or I can't remember, any Raider running play that stood out. I mean, they were all, at best, they were like maybe 3 or 4 yards, and that was at best because I didn't see a lot of a good positive line flow. And that's unfortunate. So I'm surprised that we actually tied the game. I'm surprised we even tied the game.
Yeah, I thought we'd kind of we got behind so darn early that I was just like I don't know what's gonna happen. I know it's preseason, but I kind of thought I'm like really offensive. Our right tackle, you miss a lot of blocks and stuff. You got to let the defender go right around him, and I'm all like, dude, you missed your block. Let's go, man. You can't just keep doing that.
Now, was this at the very beginning of the game? Because that would be DJ Glaze. If it wasn't at the beginning of the game, then that would have been, let's see here, Mumford, who was playing right tackle after Glaze left.
The right tackle, he just didn't have it.
I didn't hear you, brother. You maybe other people did, but I couldn't hear you. Yeah, I know. But we the people said it. If it was later in the game, it was Mumford playing right tackle. Who was at the very beginning, it was our regular starting right tackle, DJ Glaze. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, I saw. And that's one of the reasons why Mumford is not a starting tackle in the league. They were saying that Grant and Rogers played left side, and they got buried a couple different times from the defensive line of the Seahawks, and it's again unfortunate, but they got to step up as well. Rogers played tackle in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I know this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the Seahawks put 8-10 in the box, and they're like, "Oh, our number one key is to stop JT." And I was like, "Wow!"
Yeah, if they're going to be selling out for the run, then that means that those passes should have been available. We should pass more. If they're stacking the box, then lighten up the box. You know, throw those seam patterns, throw those, you know, little curls, and even across the middle on a what is it, a drag pattern or something like that. There's got to be ways to keep things open.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what we do against the Niners practice.
Yeah. Now I hope, God, I hope that they play a hell of a lot better. And yeah, I agree with We the People. You know, well coached. They showed that. They showed that they are a well coached team. So they you know, the Raiders got their work cut out for them in order to you know, show better action. By the way, it is the Raider Shield family. That is the other channel. I can't you know, I'm just gonna play old man stuff. You know, I can't remember the name. So what do you got this week going on there until the game on Saturday?
I got for next week just work and just working on my projects and just waiting for week 2 after I go to bowling this weekend.
Okay, well, be well on your bowling. You know, I will be here. Tom T3 Fester was just on. We will have a show on Sunday. So it'll be just like this. It'll be the game. It'll be the day after the game. So get your stuff ready for all the questions. Now I want to say this as well. Did any Raider stand out to you saying that guy played well?
I think Jamal Adams. I know that.
Yeah, I know for a fact he played well. Anybody else come to mind?
Dylan Laube.
I liked his touchdown. Laube's touchdown along with Jackson's touchdown. Very, very well conceived plays too. So hopefully that the Raiders will play up to those. Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, the pause, because you had to think about it. You know, and you are right. It's like, really, did anybody play well? No, not too many people, but we did that. But yeah, and Jackson, the guy, the touch. I love the touchdown by Cam Miller to Jackson. That you know the what do you call it? The fake and that was great. Brother,
oh yeah, I saw that Cam Miller.
Yeah, anything else for you, partner?
Yeah, no, we're good. I just want to stop in. I know the internet probably a little sketchy right now between us, but I just wanted to drop in, get a couple words in from what our team did for one preseason game, and just got to improve on what we have to do.
Yeah, I want to see a better game. I want to see a better game. Obviously, the best thing is, other than Bachman, who had some sort of, I think the coach said he had an ankle injury. You know, as long as he is okay, that's the important thing. But it's like we need to keep injuries out of the equation, and we just do need to play better.
Yes, we do.
Bob, take care, brother. We'll see you up on the next.
You too.
And looking forward to seeing that. And you're the woodwork guy, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing some of that woodwork product.
Okay, definitely.
All right. Take care, brother. You be well. That's Bob. If you want to come into the show, we are, we are an hour 40 in. John Leon, good to see you. I haven't seen John Leon in a while. But if you want to come into the show, the link is there. I see Jeff is over there Jeff's doing a show. So I'll probably pop in and see him after that. Chris is doing a show. So I'll try to pop in and see, and while they're on after this show, I'll come over there and hopefully get a chance to talk more about it. But is there anything else from any of y'all? And I know that they said that Angela was like, man, I'm going to be here, but I'm just out with the wife. Is there anything on my way with the asylum of becoming? I told you I'd be late. Hopefully, I hope I will be here through the 2-hour mark. I will be here for another 10, 15 minutes. So, Matt came up. Sounds good. I'm ready to. Oh, Gary Kaiser. Good to see you, brother. Come on over to YouTube, Gary. I got as stated. Oh, did he golf it? Oh, it's just a pop out. Schwarber was up. Schwarber gave the Phillies their lead. Yeah, Matt, I understand it. I know it's only preseason, but they looked bad. The only positive grace was that they didn't lose. And other than Alex Bachman, I don't think there were any major injuries. But they did not look good. So that was it. John says AOC is not adept at running play action. Miller looked good at it. Matt, I get it. In preseason where you look bad, but I'm hoping that's I'm hoping that's where you look bad. And I know that also. And here's the other thing there, Matt, is that you what I'm looking for. You're running vanilla in offense and defense. I know you're running vanilla, but I need to see something. I keep going back to the seam pattern 4 times, and it worked. It worked well. I'll agree with this. They look better in the second half. They did. They look better in the second half. But I'm not sure if that's yes, I'm sure the halftime adjustments were there and it did help. But I'm not sure if that's just because of that or that by that time the Seahawks, 3rd and 4th and 5th stringers were in there after the half. You tell me. There you go, Jack Kenna. Thank you. Now Kenna's over on that other channel. Jack, I gave Navman the link to come over here. Hopefully we'll see him because I gotta stay. Only because Angelo said he'd be over here, but he'd be over here late. So I don't want to close the show. And then, Angelo comes over and says, well, I was getting ready to be there. If you would like to come in, and I do agree with, Matt Marinovich, is that whatever the halftime adjustment, and when was the last time, by that matter, when was the last time it looked like the Raiders actually made halftime adjustments? No, you're good, Ken. I'm just saying, we'll see. Yeah, JPJ playing at guard, is that going to continue? I don't know. If the offensive line, and I'm going to say this, if the offensive line plays better as a whole with Meredith at center and JPJ at center, because those guys looks like they're going to make it, right? So if they play better with JPJ at guard and Meredith at center, That might continue. Oh, yeah, Jack, I'm great. Stars looks sloppy and unprepared. That's on, Coach. That's true. What was all of the people? We all we heard was the hype. Without great. Now I do know that it is a hype machine. I get it. It is a hype machine. But by the same token, I actually was trying or expecting it to actually be true. Alex Kappa, okay. So maybe somebody can tell me what Kappa's weight is, because I think Parm is definitely going to be one of the guards. And then it becomes who plays best between Kappa and Merritt. We'll see. Your T-Girl Lily, good to see you in New York Giants News. Dude, I haven't seen you in forever. Come on over to the show. I'm over on YouTube. It's easier to come over because then I can see you on YouTube. Oh, I hope I didn't fuck up the broadcast. Okay, I accidentally hit the thing. Okay, there you go. 66312. Okay. And Kenneth says 310. Okay, so Kappa's of decent size. I know that they were listing at Parham as he had gotten bigger. So, because Parham has needed to get on, put on some weight. Parmigiana, every game he gets cooked. Another good zinger from the man. Gino was good in his brief stint. Okay. Yeah, remember Gino had 15 yards passing, 3 completes. He played 2 series too, didn't he? So yeah, he played 2 series. The receivers did drop the ball. All right. King Chevy is the Xavier Cedeno. Good to see you. Coming over from the Raider Shield family side of things. Glad to see that you're here. We're talking about the game. If you want to come in, if you want to talk about your thoughts of the game, Big Parm from Big Raiders YouTube Reviews, Raiders.com. Parm now 332. Yeah. Parm needed to gain some weight. He was always a bit light in the britches. He was always a bit light in the britches. So if you want to come in and discuss it, Jack, you want to come in? Anybody else? Obviously, this is for everybody. But if you want to come in and talk to what your thoughts were about the game, I am going to be here for at least another 13 minutes. I'm going through 2 hours. Because if I don't do the 2 hours, then I hear from hopefully we'll get Angelo in here. Hopefully we'll get Navman to come back. But if not, okay, he played 1 series, 1 for 3, 15 yards. Okay, that was it. I knew there was 15 yards in there. Thanks, Mike. And Mike, you said that Parham played. I didn't see him play. Oh yeah, you're good, Sharif. I know you're, and I don't know. Ed Winchell knows that I'm tired. Ed Winchell knows that I'm tired because I woke up early, or I should say, I was woken up early by my cardiologist. Insurance issue. Oh, you didn't watch the game and listen to others? Okay. A little difference between James and Meredith in the center position. Yeah, that's a problem then. That says it all right there, Matt. If you get rid of James and then you bring in Meredith at the center, that's an issue. O'Connell went 14 for 23, 138, 2 touchdowns. Oh. Sharif. It's preseason for him too. And he started. Okay. Who did the Browns play? Honestly, I'm asking because I don't know. I don't remember. 714 Raiders. How you doing? I'll wave at you. Hopefully, there you go. It waved. You guys see that? Again, if you are watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, if you want, please, obviously, Instagram, the other Facebook, come over to YouTube, please. We'll see about Shador. We'll see about Shador, but you know what? I'm not high on Shador. And if he becomes the best quarterback in this draft, then we'll all be eating crow. I get it, but I'm not high on Shador. I'm actually, and I'll show you this, the quarterback that the Raiders have from UNLV. Is it Willis or Malik? I know there's, if I can't remember, it's like Malik or Willis or something like that, right? I'm high on him. I think he has more upside. But we'll see. But we gotta get the best 5. What inning is this? Top 9? Okay. We got to get the best 5 offensive linemen out there. We need to get them so that they are gelling with each other. And we need to see that band. Taking Grom, pitcher becoming the fastest to reach the milestone, which pitcher gets a pass or anything. Oh, okay. That's a good stop. Can't watch the Phillies game. If you want to come in to the show, please do. I put the link up again, but I'm out in 2 hours. At the 2 hour mark, I'm out. I'm tired. I'm on like my Duracells or the bunny's going boom, 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 boom. I'm barely hanging on. Good.
Sorry for being late.
Yeah, no, I will say this, Angelo, because I don't know if you heard me the last couple seconds. I am literally was barely hanging on. I am tired as fuck.
Now, here's what I'll say. If I had the controls,
I know. I know. But you have to let me know how to, because you got the link.
Yeah, but that's not the controls. You have to give me the It's on the corner that says invite someone to handle, or because you did it last time. It's the same thing. And then it'll give me an invite to be able to jump in.
On YouTube.
Yeah, like if we get off the live and we talk about it, I'll show you on the StreamYard. You'll see it in your screen, and there's going to be a button that you can press where you can invite me to be the host
In StreamYard.
On StreamYard.
Okay. Well then,
Yeah.
we'll do that when the show's over.
Yeah. No, the only thing I was gonna say was I what happened to like, is Navman on, or is
Navman was in here earlier, and because and Tom didn't have his earphones on correctly, so Navman was in for like a quick second. So I was like talking with him, and then he split, and then he didn't come back. So I hit him up on the link, or on the chat, not on the chat, but like in a text message, but he didn't come back on. So I'm here until you hear me going. and if that happens, I apologize for folks. I was gonna say, the folks that I think I said a little bit. I was woken up early this morning at 8:15. Now I know that for a lot of people that you're already up like 2 or 3 hours by then, but I go to sleep late, and I get up at the crack of maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning normally, right? I admit that. But my cardiologist's office calls me, telling me that I owe them $2,000. And
that happens. That the fake bills happen all the time.
No, but see, it's not fake bill.
Okay.
It's not a fake bill. It was really the cardiologist's office, because the Asala was saying, "Oh, that's a scam, that's a scam, that's a scam." Because I told him, I said, dude, I never have bills for a couple grand from anybody, because TRICARE pays for it all. And he goes, okay. And I said, wait a second. And I woke up enough. That's the key point. I woke up enough to go into the other room and get a tablet to write down the information, because the number came up as a legitimate place, as my cardiologist's office. And so that was legit. And then he says, hey, on this date, you did this. And there were 3 procedures, and he gave me the numbers and the prices that were for these procedures. Okay. Bottom line is that the 3 procedures are actually one procedure that they broke up into 3 different, charge codes. $6,000 for one procedure. Wow. $6,000.
Okay.
Okay. But it's a heart procedure. And I'm like, well, wait a second. Wait a second, Angela. I said, TRICARE pays for that. Always. Well, when I got the information from him, and then we, as I say, look, so many GMs and head coaches are going to look foolish, including you know who. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm reading these things. Raiders need to practice. No fab semen retention. Is that a go 49ers? Okay, there you go. Drop top. Okay. Are you from 9-1? Okay, Pittsburgh Gino flipping off the Seahawks. Mark Fields is bad luck. Okay, he'll be fine. $50,000. Hey, he can afford $50,000. Anyway, but getting back to the bill. They said on this date you did this, and it was a $6,000 job. And again, they pay for all my shit. I found out by calling up TRICARE that it's because I didn't have a referral.
Oh, no way.
So I had to call my doctor and tell them on this date I had this done and I need a referral. And this was done in March.
What?
So hopefully I will get a referral post dated or in the system, because all my shit's always taken care of by TRICARE. Always.
Right.
So
Right. That's rough though, Cap. And yeah, believe me, they've definitely made mistakes on it, because I've called them out on it before, and everybody just assumes, oh no, I guess we'll have to make payments. But oftentimes when I get something, I'll be like, I'll call them and I'll go, hey, can you explain this? Can you explain this to me exactly what this bill is for? And then, there was one recently where they were like, I'm so sorry. I guess the system sent those bills to everybody, but no, you don't have a bill. And I was like, that's what I thought. So yeah, Cap, watch that closely. Watch that closely, because you never know. You never know.
I am laughing at you. I am a very wealthy dude, so why worry about $2,000? I dropped $2,000 today to pay the paver guy. Okay, but it wasn't like I was making it rain. Okay, it's a big chunk of money from an account to pay off the pavers. Granted, they look good, but I don't just go, yeah, here's $2,000. No, I'm not like that. No. But yeah, well, so $2,000 to me, that's a nice chunk of money, especially
Cap $200 is a nice chunk of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's throwing away money, Ed. Nobody's, like, come on, man. Nobody's doing that. So, speaking of throwing away money, what'd you what I missed what T3 said. I know you're not happy, and believe me, I was watching the show live last night with Turf and Papa Rundown. Brad, you've had Brad here on the show before, and then also Spence, and he's a Patriots fan, but he's very cerebral. We love Spence. So, anyways, me and Spence were like super calm, right? Like, but man, everybody was getting so upset, like we just lost, $2,000. I was saying, so I know you're not happy, but what was T3? What was Tom's whole take on it? What in a nutshell?
Tom's take on what?
On just last night's game. I mean, I don't think he would have been as mad as you.
I think Tom's take was pretty much my take, is that they looked not quite good. They were I don't say they were abysmal, but they had a lot to be desired. They have a lot to be desired. The running game, our running game sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Our running game sucked. Our stopping the run at times, I don't want to say all the time, but our wide game, stopping the run on wide plays, was abysmal.
Mm-hmm.
The interior runs, we seem to be doing okay on those. Maybe 2-3 yard gains, right? That's normal. But the wide runs, they were tearing off like 20-30 yard runs, like especially in the first half. Yeah, Trey Turner just hit a 3-run home run, so I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's my overall thing about it, Cap, and this is why I like it when we record it here on the Captain Jack Rackham show. I was on record telling everybody, and remember, I was even telling you about the epic argument between me and my wife.
I know
on what the Raiders are going to do, and the people around the neighborhood is like, you guys got to tone your voices down about this, right? it's because, and here's the thing, right? I was, and I'll admit to everyone right now, I was fooled by it too last year. But after what happened last year, I'm like, no more will you fool me. No more will I be fooled with what the Raiders have done over the last 5 years, right? Because remember how excited I was with Antonio Pierce, right? And we're gonna do it, and we have the talent, and look what we were able to do when he only coached the second half of the season. So now he's gonna blah blah blah, and we were garbage. We won 4 games. It was everybody, and that was it. So what does the Raiders do? I'm not talking about us, the fans. I'm talking the front office. What do? They make another change, right? So it's a whole nother change. And what have we learned about changes? I've literally, Mike Sarah, I've literally been on this Captain Jack Rackham show giving the sermon to everyone. And Captain Jack even agreed with me about it, right? When you pick a brand new coach with a brand new GM and you throw them in a team, year one is the building year. Year one is always the building year. It is never the playoff year. It is never the Super Bowl year. And the only outlier to it that's got everyone a little excited is the Washington Commanders. They're the outlier, right? But other than that, see, my wife's pointing at me right now. The Asawa's getting mad at me as I'm giving the sermon cow. Okay, but I've been saying this. So when I went to watch last night, remember what I told you the day before when we were with Severe, which was awesome, by the way, Cap?
I enjoyed that. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Okay. I said, I'm going to be just paying attention to the trenches because I just want to see what's going on with the trenches. I'm really going to pay who's playing, who's not playing, what's going on, right? And I saw what I thought I was going to see anyway. We have a whole bunch of new rookie players and a whole bunch of veterans trying to have chemistry with newer players. And then on top of that, you take JPJ, you move him to a different position, right? And you know this, Cap, because you were an O lineman. Being an O lineman is not an individualistic position. All right. And I say that what I mean is, for example, if you're a wide receiver, you can like go off page and go on your own route, right? Go off your own thing, and maybe you'll make a catch, maybe you won't. With the O-line, Cap, if you're the left tackle, you have to be in sync with the left guard, who has to be in sync with the center, who has to be in sync with the right. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be like synchronized swimming all together, right? So everybody is like sitting there acting like it's whatever, JPJ's fault or DJ Glaze's fault or Colt Miller didn't look that great. I agree, right?
Colt Miller didn't play.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought somebody said Colt Miller didn't look that great. I didn't pay attention to that part of it because I really wanted to see the middle. So the O linemen I watched were I wanted to see how Caleb Rogers would do on both right guard and left guard, Charles Grant, Lockie Tossie, Dalton Wagner, like these were all the ones I was trying to pay attention to. Like, because in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be the future. So let me just see where it all goes, right? So first half, Cap, did they play like ass? Yes, they did. 100%. There's not going to be anyone that's going to sit there. Everybody played like ass. I mean, I've never even seen Jacoby Myers drop a pass, guys. And he dropped the pass. That was clearly a pretty decent pass. I wouldn't say it was a perfect pass by Gino, but he dropped it. All right. And, everybody's been, or let me not say everybody, but the media has been building up Thornton, the fifth round kid, right? They've been building him up and building him up and building him up. And I'm like, he's a fifth rounder for a reason, man. So you got,
I will say this though. I'm gonna shit on your bread here. Okay, Thornton beat his guy badly. Beat him badly.
Right.
And then fucking Aiden O'Connell has a fucking noodle arm 10 yards, 15 yards, or at least 10 yards short.
Right.
Pick, right?
Right.
Had he thrown the ball with all his might, Thornton was gone.
Right.
and he would have
Right.
had that. So, and that's why I was looking for that with Peggy, because Thornton beat his guy, and Jackson at the very end on the pump fake, he beat his guy. So there is that capability.
No. But here's the thing, though, Cap. Like Shedrick Jackson, for example. You're talking about Jackson. Okay. Shedrick Jackson is the 5th. He's 5th on the bench for wide receivers. No one even knew who he was except for me when we were on the live last night. And people were, who the hell's number 4? And Turf's like, I don't know who that is. And all I know is he's wearing Derek Carr's number. And I'm the one that said, yeah, he's his name's Shedrick Jackson. He played in Auburn. He was in the 2023 draft. Then he was with Cincinnati. And then they let him go. And the Raiders picked him up in January of this year, right? But even that, Cap, like again, you can't look at that game and individually, nitpick at it, because it's a team thing, Cap. It's a team thing. So here's my entire thing, and I'll put it in a nutshell for you guys. Number one, I said, Ed, and I will stand by it. You bet the under will win 6 games, and I think last night probably proves to you why we're going to win 6 games. Because let's say we really wanted to win now, right? This whole win now attitude. Then what you do is you put Thayer Mumford as a guard. You put him next to Colton Miller. You put the most experienced people in the front, right, in the trenches, and you don't do weird little experiments. But you're doing an experiment right now with Jackson Powers Johnson, probably for some kind of reason. Don't exactly know what the reason is yet. I'm not going to guess, because if we're going to trust the process, and this is what Severe was saying with you, Captain Jack, you're a big believer in let's trust the process. Well, last night, Captain, was the process. So if we're going to trust the process, even Pete Carroll was not happy. And we understand that. Pete Carroll got happy in the second half because everybody started playing harder in the second half. But those were all the newer players, too. Those were all the new guys, right? The Chris Colliers, and that's why I was telling you. Like, for example, what did you expect out of Laki Tassi exactly? He just started learning how to play football, all right? So the fact, Cap, that I saw a big, almost 400-pound guy right there as a right guard that looks like over the next few years we could actually develop into something, I was happy to see it. I was like, okay, cool. I'd like to keep him and see what we can do, because we spent more money on Dalton Wagner, Captain. We spent more money on Dalton Wagner. And did he look that good to you? He looked okay-ish. But he got bull rushed. For someone who we paid X amount of money in a developmental contract, he hasn't been developed that well. And now, here's what I'll say. Do you know why he wasn't developed that well? All right, Ed, do you know why he wasn't developed that well?
Because we had shitty offensive line coaches.
Exactly, Cap. Thank you.
That's one reason why.
You and if you keep fucking switching, you're switching from this regime to that regime to this regime to that regime. What the fuck did everybody expect, Captain? What the fuck did everyone expect? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, Ed. I'll bet you not on the 7, because I said 6 is the floor. I could see 6 and 7. But I'll tell you what. You're saying they're going to win. If you tell me you think the Raiders will win 8. You want to bump that up to 8 games? I'll bet you to 50. I'll bet you to 50 that we do not win 8 games. Give me the under on 8. But I'm just saying, like, the Vegas odds look pretty good for betting the under on 7.5. So unless you're giving me those odds, I would get, what is it? I think I would get $200 from you right now if you gave me those same odds.
No, Ed says no. 7 is the mark, and Ardell says 8 and 9 is the record.
Right. So anyway, Cap, thank you for pointing out the fact that I'm not gonna get mad at a player ever if their teachers are terrible. This is Brennan Carroll's first year as the offensive line coach. He has Joe Philbin there right now to try to kind of hold everything together, right? But Captain Jack, did you expect Brennan Carroll to become an all-star offensive line coach coming from the Huskies? I mean, honestly, Cap, is that what you expected when we hired Brennan Carroll?
I didn't know a fucking thing about Brandon Carroll when we hired him. I did not.
Right.
But I also anticipated that he had probably had the position before in college. Apparently not. I was people were pointing out, no, he hasn't been an offensive line coach before. Well, that's upsetting to hear.
Well, here's the thing too, Cap. Here's the thing, and you and I both know who's really good, who's really the glue to that offensive line room as a coach right now is Joe Philbin. But here's the thing. You said it with Severe on the other night. You said to him, don't be surprised if Pete Carroll is grooming his son, Brennan, to take over. And if you were going to groom your son, Captain Jack, to eventually become the head coach of a team, wouldn't you want the son to be connected to the O-line? Because that's where it all starts. You got to learn how to be respected by the O-line, and then things will get good. Right?
Well, I will say that is that he if you're not the defensive backs guru that your father is, you better have a good repertoire for something. Okay.
Right.
And Sharif, I know I am saying this. I don't give a fuck who was here, who was not here, who was checked out, who was not playing. Antonio Pierce is a shitty coach. He's a shitty coach.
Yeah.
I'll even go shitty coach.
I heard he was a pretty decent linebacker coach.
Okay, that's his Mount Olympus. He's a decent linebacker coach. But anything beyond that, he fucking sucks the sweat off of balls of llamas. That's it.
So, okay. No, Ardell, that's what I'm trying to say. Ardell, that's what I'm trying to tell everyone. I'm trying to tell everyone to calm the fuck down because, and in fact, Ardell, you're going to love this because I said this a year ago and Captain Jack agreed with me about first-year head coaches and what we as a Raider Nation fan base should expect out of first-year head coaches if we're truly trying to build a program. Okay? We have to be just like how the Detroit Lions were. And this is year one. And year one for Dan Campbell was ass. Go back and look at it. Then they drafted more people because he was building a culture. Then year two was a little bit better. Then year three, they're this awesome playoff team. And now everybody's thinking they're a Super Bowl contender. That's our trajectory. And if you can accept that, then don't look at me anymore and say, oh, Angelo, well, you don't know. We might win 8 games. Look, guys, I'm going to tell you right now. The Chargers just fucking lost Rashawn Slater. Rashawn Slater for the whole season. I will guarantee you the Chargers will win more games than us. Guaranteed. Guarantee it. Because really, Captain Jack, you played O-line. Okay? If you were a center, give me the reason why I'm going to make you in your second year play left guard, right guard. You saw that? How many snaps did JPJ have last night? He looked like he played almost the whole game. They threw him a left guard. They threw him a right guard. So why, Cap? Why are they doing this?
I couldn't tell at times. I said I saw him in the game, but it's like okay, he's playing right guard. If he played left guard, I didn't notice it because I was trying to see where he was on the line. I know that I did not, and if I'm mistaken, I did not see Colton Miller. And then was it Mike Sarah said that Parham played? I didn't see Parham play. I didn't see Parham play, but I didn't see Colton Miller play either. So Mike Sarah says that Parham played. If anybody can go, and I did record the game, but the other thing is that the way that the broadcast was, you got to be really quick or to put it on snap freeze to see who's playing where. That's why I said I don't know, but I did not see Colt Miller play. I did not see Parham play. Mike Sarah said he played okay, but I know
a few snaps because
I know that when Rogers and
Rogers
played 4 snaps. There, thank you, Jack.
Yeah, thank you, Jack.
Yeah, the kids.
So that's what everybody was saying is that
well.
Colton didn't look that good. But I'm like, yeah, whatever. I wasn't even paying attention to that more than I was paying attention to what are we doing with Meredith? What are we doing with Powers Johnson? What are we doing with Rogers? What are we doing with Charles Grant? Like, I wanted to just, because I'm looking at it from the eyes of this year will be our bumps and bruises year. Just like the Lions. Just like the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
The first year, bumps and bruises, and building the team and learning who we're going to have and learning who we're going to keep. And, you know, like Jamal Adams, right? Everybody's talking about that, right, Captain Jack? Jamal Adams. Oh, what a bright light. Jamal Adams. What the fuck did you expect, guys, from a veteran who has played at the level that he's played? Of course he played great. He's fucking Jamal Adams.
And I'm gonna address this. Shreve, why the fuck am I gonna put money on the same thing that I think is you? I'm betting against myself. I'm betting. Yeah, no, I think the Patriots will win more games than us. Why the fuck would I put money up against that I don't think that? No, that's stupid. I think the Patriots will win more games than the Raiders. Yes, put your money up. No, I think the same thing. If you think that if I'm betting against you, no. And I see that you're backstage good. So, yeah, that's a stupid bet. I think that the Patriots will likely win more games than the Raiders.
Yeah, I can see that too. I agree with that, Cap. And by the way, for all of you guys who have been frequent loyal followers of the Captain Jack Rackham show, I told you who I wanted to draft. I said Armand Membu. Remember that shit? I said that's who I wanted to draft because we need to build our O-line. And then what did I say? In the second round, you know who we could get? Travion Henderson. Guess who looks fucking amazing for the Patriots, everyone? Travion Henderson. Guess when they took him? The second round. Yay! And who did the Patriots take in the first round? Will Campbell, O-line. I don't know if he'll pan out or not. I'm just saying they're following a formula of winning. They're following a formula of winning. Now, I'm not shitting on Ashton Genty, Cap. All right? I'm not one of the people that's going to shit on Ashton Genty.
No, I'm not. Well, but I said, and I said this the night of the draft. I came on the night of the draft, and you know this because you were there. I said, I am not happy with the Ashton Genty pick right now. I will revise that if the Raiders address offensive line, which they did.
Right.
Those were my exact
words.
Which
is why I was paying attention to it, Cap. That's why I was paying attention to Tossie and I understand, Captain. You know how the O-line's supposed to play. So if you're looking at it from the eyes of, oh my goodness, when Grant and Rogers were together on the left side, they have a long way to go to become a starter. Okay, I agree. But Cap, did we honestly think Grant and Rogers were going to start this year anyways? No, we did not. We definitely didn't think Grant was going to start, right? Because we needed to develop him. And I didn't know about, is Rogers going to start? I didn't think so. I thought maybe later in the year. You even said that if Rogers was going to start, you thought it wouldn't be until the second half of the year. So that's my point. When I'm looking at them, I'm not looking at them with rose-colored glasses like I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at potential. And potentially, tell me the truth, Captain, you watched that second half. Did Grant and Caleb Rogers play their hearts out in the second half?
I would hope they did, but they got their asses handed to them. So
they were trying, Cap. They were trying, okay? That's different than, when you're trying and you're getting beat, that's okay. That's a part of growth. All right? Let's not forget, man, America was built on hard work, everyone. All right. It's not given to you. You got to take what you want, right? Those two were trying, Cap. They were, and Lockie Tassi, tell me that big boy wasn't trying. He just started playing football. He was a rugby guy, but he was trying his heart out.
If he played last night, I didn't, and I was looking, but I missed it. But
okay, also, you got to watch it. I like watching him a lot.
Yeah. The other thing was that near the end of the game, I was in my phone. I had other things going on, and I had to go to the bathroom as well. As then that had to be done, and so I missed some of the. And then I look up, and I'm like, wow. The Raiders are, got a touchdown or something, or so I missed a lot of the fourth quarter. So, but I didn't see Lockie Tassi, but I want to see.
Watch him, Cal.
Yeah,
it was nice to see that because remember when we first got him as an international player and he was playing rugby, they were thinking about putting him on defense.
Yeah.
And then they switched it and said, well, maybe we could try him on offense. And they put him in at right guard. And honestly, Cap, I understand, man. He's not going to have any techniques yet. But, man, he sure – I can see it. I can go, all right, give it 2 years, and he's not going to count against our 53-man anyways. Mm-hmm. This guy could be a future, who's the guy for the Eagles, Cap?
I know what you're talking. Yeah, the international guy that the Eagles groomed to be a near star. I got it.
So that's who we can have. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right, can Caleb Rogers be our left guard of the future? I can see it. I mean, it might not really show up for us till his third year. But I think you're going to see flashes this year, and then second year, he might even start, maybe. But by third year, he should pan out. He's a third-round pick, okay? Mm-hmm. That's what we should be expecting from DJ Glaze, by the way, who everyone right now is eviscerating, Cap. They're killing this guy. They're killing him. And I'm like, first of all, he did us a favor year one. He was a third-round pick that became a starter that did pretty well in that particular scheme. Guess what? It just happened. He had to learn a whole new scheme. He's learning Chip Kelly's system, right? He's learning and then he's got a new O-line coach. He's trying to figure it out in his second year. And you guys are all killing this kid? Why? Why are you killing why are you killing Glaze? Okay, don't. Let Glaze learn, right? And then same thing, Cap. And this is what I mean is it's like, believe me, Cap, people destroy me for this because then they're like, you're just trying to forgive him, Angelo. I'm the guy that said we're only going to win 6 games, remember? I'm being a realist. I'm not gonna smoke some whatever people are smoking nowadays and somehow believe we're a playoff team because Pete Carroll knows what he's doing, Ed. Yeah, he might. He probably should. Okay, but if your fucking soup is being made with water and ketchup, that shit is not a really good homemade tomato soup, brother.
That's Philippine tomato soup.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks, Cap. As long as it's banana ketchup, Cap.
yes, it is. And I'm not kidding, folks. I asked for like tomato soup in the Philippines, and they come out, and I'm like, what is this? And then they said it's a tomato soup, and I'm like, okay. But then the girl I was with, she's like, yeah, it's hot water and banana ketchup. I'm like, okay, that makes sense why it tastes like ass. By the way, banana ketchup is good on French fries. It gives French fries I like it. It's like a sweet taste.
Yes,
because of the bananas. I like banana ketchup, but not for soup.
And banana ketchup is great with like lumpia, Cap. And don't by the way, don't forget, Cap, Filipino spaghetti's probably the greatest.
No.
You don't like it, Cap?
No.
As a kid, man, kids love it.
No.
Kids love the Filipino spaghetti.
No, I am of a firm belief because I have real Italian spaghetti.
Of course,
Okay.
of course. Well,
Real
Filipino
Italian,
spaghetti is like saying Chef Boyardee, though, Cap.
you know, yeah, that's a toss up at this point. Philippine spaghetti and Chef Boyardee. I am gonna bring in. I'm gonna load up the cage.
All right.
I'm bringing in Rafa and I'm bringing in Sharif. Well, before anybody says anything, Sharif, give me a mic check, please, sir.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
I'm good.
Am I okay?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Everybody over there, and I'll say hi to Captain Morgan and all the other folks that came up over there. Sharif, yeah, I know you're stewing. I'm gonna let you and Angelo go unless you want to come after me.
Hold on, Cap. I'm gonna let you go, Sharif, and I'll let you go too, Raf. But let me finish my point, and then I'll let you go, Sharif. All right. My point again is stop pretending like we're a playoff team this year, no matter what you're being sold. Okay, we've already gone through this parade. First-year head coaches, for the most part, first-year head coaches, even in our past, first-year head coaches don't do that well because they're trying to develop their culture and their system. And what we saw last night was Daddy Pete Carroll or Grandpa Pete Carroll getting mad at the kids for not playing their hearts out in the first half, and the other kids played their hearts out in the second half, and that's what salvaged us for it being a tie. But I honestly don't really care whether we win a preseason game or not. I care what's happening. What are we building, right? And I'm understanding that he's trying to figure things out. So okay, man. Captain Jack, you said to Severe that the reason why you liked the Pete Carroll hire was because we have to trust the system. Well, then trust the system. Stop your bitching and trust the system.
Yeah, and by the way, everybody over there on Instagram and people on Facebook, thank you for being here. And Capmore says, "This is Pete, how Pete has always been." It's gonna take time, folks, and I said it. This is year 0. This ain't even year 1, it's year 0. It won't be year 1 until halfway through the season when people figure shit out that this is the new regime. That's when year 1 starts. Sharif, go ahead, and then go ahead there, Rafa, as well. Go ahead.
Hey, good to see all of you. And I'm not in disagreement with transplant. I don't expect the playoffs this year, not hardly. I'm hoping at best, as far as trying to be an optimist, maybe 8 games. And given the strength of this schedule, there's a lot of different pieces on this defense and team overall. And sometimes people think different is better. No, different is just different. Your entire secondary is different from a year ago. It looks like we still going to have issues on the D-line as far as interior pressure. You watch the second stringers of the Seahawks walk all over us like a nappy piece of carpet with our starters out there, missing tackles like Ray Charles and Jose Feliciano was playing weak side and strong side. That's horrible. And it's amazing, Cat, how you're still sitting on our good friend Antonio Pierce. It was his first year a year ago.
Sharif, I am on record. I am on record stating that I like Antonio Pierce for his rah team building atmosphere. I'm on record.
I'm aware of that, Cat, but you said quite a bit 10 minutes ago. So let me address something real quick.
Okay.
You will forever be, Raider Nation will forever be indebted to him, because before we become revisionists and you think of 2023, The morale of this fan base was as low as I ever can fucking remember under Josh McDaniels. And it was Mr. Pierce, who wasn't expecting to get the job, who performed CPR on the nation. And from that point, we became a top 10 defense with him and Graham working in concert. Graham worked with McDaniels too. We were nowhere near top 10 in defense. Sometimes you can speak life into people, into men, into a football team. So he swept the AFC West. He broke the scoring record for the Raiders for the most points in the game. Madden didn't do that. Flores didn't do that. Bruton didn't do that. The linebacker from the New York Giants did that. And Cap, I think you was in Allegiant Stadium with everyone else in January 2024 after beating the Donkeys for the last time, and since then, and everyone was chanting that brother's name. And we actually thought Tom Telesco, who was fired 2 months prior, or maybe a month before that, because of what AP did to his team, was coming to help. And we know the rest of the story. So, let's be balanced and not critique. Because if we're going to get Pete Carroll, a experienced Super Bowl winning NCAA champion coach, a bunch of excuses and grace, but you can't get that to AP with the disaster and bad luck and tsunami of tragedy he inherited last year. Wilkins going down, Devontae Adams checking out, Jacobs not getting re-signed, multiple rookies on the O-line, 8 missing players on the defense due to injury. There's not a head coach in the history of the NFL who could succeed under those circumstances. And Luke Getsy, oh my God. As soon as we hired him, I knew that was a fucking joke. So I just wanted to bring context, Pat.
You know what? I will say this, and I'm on fucking record saying it, okay? Gerard Mayo should have gotten a fucking head coaching job and kept the job in New England. Gerard Mayo got fucked more than AP did. Okay?
Yeah, I agree. There's no argument here.
So it's not, and for people that are saying it's a fucking black thing, no, it ain't. But I am on fucking.
You're saying that, Pat.
Okay, but I am on fucking record that AP as a coach, at best, is a linebackers coach. Because even when he was the defensive coordinator in Arizona State, he wasn't the greatest. Okay, because he did ascend to be a defensive coordinator in college. Let's look at the record there. He was a defensive coordinator in college. He was a linebackers coach in the NFL. He was aight. He should never have been the head coach. I give him his props for bringing back the culture. I give him those props for what he
Half
did.
of you were on suicide watch, Cat. Half of Raider Nation under Josh McDaniels and the ones who are still sore about Derek Dallas Carr were literally on suicide watch.
Okay?
So even if AP's only destiny was to come here for a period of time to stop the bleeding and remind us of some core tenets of what Raider Nation's about, and unlike Pete and Josh, he actually was a Raider fan. See, we throw around that word, who's a Raider? No, Mr. Antonio Pierce is a Raider. Fuck what his occupation is. He's a Raider and grew up that way. That's established. That's a bona fide fact.
Okay.
Not Pete Carroll, not Josh. So let's remember that and treat him accordingly. He did the best with what he could.
And I will only give him the props for that. Only. And you ain't getting any more out of me. I'm sorry.
Give that same energy to Pete Carroll that had his team looking horrible last night.
It really fucking pissed me off when he went over to the Chiefs wearing Chiefs fucking red. And the reason why
John Gruden did the same thing. John Gruden did the same fucking thing.
And I didn't like it with Gruden doing it either. So I'm going to say that. Gruden wearing
And
fucking.
he signed with Spagnuolo.
Yeah, but I'm
And
saying.
New York Giants.
I
Him
am
and
saying.
Steve Spagnuolo. He was there
Fuck-
as an invite.
Fuck
That
A.
man has to make money. He filed for bankruptcy.
Fuck
What you want him to
A.
do?
Fuck A.
Marcus Allen retired a Chief.
It's not AB anymore.
Marcus
It's fuck
Allen
A.
retired as a Chief.
I'm
So
saying.
say that to Marcus Allen, who retired as a fucking Chief, not as a Raider.
Okay. I would say if he went over there and it wasn't even for a job, I would have given him more respect if he went over there for a job. He didn't go over there.
He popped up unannounced.
Do you really think he popped up unannounced?
And said, hey, I just wanted to say hello. Steve Spagnuolo invited him personally. You do know they were with the New York Giants when he was captain along with Strahan.
I actually remember that. I know that Steve Spagnuolo was the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants when AP was a linebacker for the New York Giants when the New York Giants beat the Patriots not once, but twice. I fucking remember that shit, Sharif. I do.
So don't act like he's fucking Judas all of a sudden because he did what John Gruden did. He beat us in a Super Bowl and ran up and down the field rejoicing and laughing and pumping his fucking fists. And we wonder why Al Davis fired him, and we bring him back, and he fucking killed us in like 5 straight drafts.
I can give a flying fuck about slobbing the knob of Antonio Pierce as anything more than a fucking cheerleader. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. He shouldn't have had the job. And when you said, well, he lost this guy, he lost that guy, he lost that guy, I don't care. I don't
told
care.
you 2 years ago, McDaniel shouldn't have had the job.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. McDaniel shouldn't have had the job. And
remember that. We had to get rid of McDaniel. The only reason why Pierce was necessary is because of McDaniel. And I told you
on your show, January 2023, McDaniels would not work. I told you what he did to Denver. I told you what he was with St. Louis as a coordinator.
You did? And I agree. And I said,
and
yes.
With all those Pro Bowlers on the roster, he won 6 fucking games.
Got your receipt, Sharif. I said you said it. I give you credit for it. Every time you said something that is correct, I said, and Sharif said this, and he was right. So don't fucking say I don't give you your flowers for when you were right. I do.
I didn't say that, Cap. And I told you about Tom Telesco.
He wasn't coming here with good intentions.
Well, the thing is out for Telesco because he did have a decent draft, but they threw everybody out. They started from scratch. They said, and the reason why is because if you're going to start from scratch, you don't have any real remnants of the prior organization. If you're going to get a new head coach, the fucking GM goes too. In other circumstances, Sharif, Telesco would have been here and he would have stayed, but they said, nope, we're going to do it. Everybody goes. So it's not necessarily that Telesco what shouldn't have been here, because he probably would have been here because at least he has the experience as a GM that went with the job. Now, on the other hand, they got a young guy in there with Spytech, and we will see how that goes. But right now, I'm thinking that will be a good hire.
Well, Cap, we both agree that Pete Carroll was the most qualified, and I was content with going with Carroll because the one thing I did not want to see was Pierce get fired and you bring in another unproven guy like Ben Johnson, who was a coordinator just like McDaniels was, and all of a sudden give this guy 5 or 6 years, whereas you didn't give that grace to Pierce. But Carroll, he comes with a resume, he comes with credentials. So I'm able to accept that. However, what I'm saying to you, Cap, is don't switch up your energy you should be even harder on Pete Carroll because AP don't have the experience or the know-how or the resume that Pete or the age that Pete Carroll had.
You know, I will say that I think based upon his credentials, that is why I said there should not be any less than 7-8 wins, because that is what a Pete Carroll team has. On authority, Pete Carroll will give you 7 to 8 wins, and people that want and think more, that's a bonus. That's a bonus. But Pete Carroll should get you 7 or 8 wins his first year, in year 0 to 1. 7 to 8.
Transplant has been on a roll, and he hasn't been wrong in quite some time. Vegas got us at 6.5. And unless I see something totally different against the Whiners, I'm inclined to think somewhere between 6 and 7 with a brand new secondary that's untested. You still got the same D line where it's one man show with Max Crosby, a makeshift O line. You still don't even have a true number one wide receiver. You got a lot of kids that you like, but you don't have that stud, that thoroughbred, that real number one wide receiver. Gino may keep us in some games.
We do, Sharif. I think it is Thornton. I think it is. Now, am I right or wrong? I don't know. I think it's Thornton. I do, because I know what I've seen of Thornton as an SEC caliber dynamic receiver. And Peggy bitched about this the other night. Well, he doesn't have any NFL snaps. Well, he's a fucking rookie. That's why he doesn't have any NFL snaps. But I tell you what, he looked good and when he did have NFL snaps the other night. And if fucking O'Connell didn't have a fucking noodle arm, he would have had a touchdown from O'Connell too.
I was just going to address that. Or I was just going to say, Cap, because I'm going back and forth with Ed. Ed, you go research and find me a clip of me ever saying that I said we would only win 5 games. You know who did go on record and say we're only going to win 5 games? Ed? Turf. Turf said we're only going to win 5 games. I have been on 3 different shows, 3 different schedule releases, all predicting the games, and every time the lowest I ever went was 6. The highest I ever went was 7. So it's 6 and 7, sir. 6 and 7. Anyways, go ahead, Cap.
And I want to say thank you there, Sharif, for allowing my blood pressure to boil over. But we have fun doing it. You know that. And I welcome DZ to the show. For folks that don't know who DZ is a Charger fan that actually I respect, and that is saying something, because there's very few of them that I do. So welcome in DZ and all the other folks here. Here and Browers is the number one pack. Like I said, we got issues. Well, but like I said, we have the pieces. I think Pete Carroll is going to get us that the 7 to 8. I hope that and if he doesn't, then Sharif, then he fucking didn't live up to his potential. I will say that. He didn't live up. But you know what? I also think that Pete Carroll next year, providing that he is, because again, God doesn't promise you another day, and I know that Angelo can speak to that. God doesn't grant you that you are going to be here, but if Pete Carroll is going to get this team together this year, I fully expect in the 2026 season that this team will be vying for a playoff spot as a number 2 contender in the AFC West. But again, we will see, because the AFC West is the toughest fucking division in football. It is.
That is right. And the last time we was in second place was under who. So show some respect.
I just if
hey,
you're
Ralph.
talking AP, I'm like I don't see it.
Yes.
Cap, can we let Ralph talk? He's been so patient
Yeah,
the whole
Ralph,
time.
I'm sorry, Ralph, but when Sharif and I get into it, we get into it. Ralph, what are your thoughts, sir?
Oh man, what should I be started? Because I'm gonna be like really short. Because to be honest, right now, the defense couldn't tackle, the offensive line couldn't block. I mean, what in the actual fuck are we doing? I understand this is the first game of the preseason, but we need to improve a lot of things more because
We do.
some people didn't get the idea. Because I understand that some players they make the real deal, but somebody had to do it. But the wrong blocking was that really abysmal, and the pass protection was not much really better because they're out
Yeah.
of the sync because they had an unseelie feeling at the halftime. Because I know this is the first preseason game, but early in my mind because the starting yesterday, which is like the last game, we just had like the same issue that we just got it. But Jackson Powers Johnson, he didn't have like his best. He didn't have, because I understand that he wasn't like protecting it all because he was switching positions, but no, because I've been seeing like a lot of battles coming up there. Because I think that at the wide receiver room, Beck, Myers, Tucker, Dawson are all locks because I gotta leave 1 or 2 spots for Dorset because Adams was one of the best defensive players last night. As long as it also translated the camp, he'll get like a spot. But Laube finally got a clean game, and he made plays to be a running, receiving, and he merely ate a spot if it translated the camp. But also, Booker had made like a few lays last night, but he wasn't able to get didn't finish at all. But the biggest issue was tackling. That's also that was fucking awful. I mean, what the fuck are we doing with the tackling? That was actually worst.
You sound like my buddy Vince Lombardi. There's no tackling. It grab. Well, that was it. They were grabbing and they weren't tackling. Would you not agree with that, Sharif?
Yes.
Grabbing. That's right. Okay.
So sort of like you at Hooters, nothing but grabbing.
Yeah. And they sucked at that. They couldn't even grab correctly.
But that falls on coaching and yeah, the brother there laid out some great points. But and that's about fundamentals. And if we got a 73-year-old coach here and this team doesn't look like it understands the fundamentals, that's a problem. You can't talk about no playoffs like Jim Morris said. Playoffs? Get serious.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was going to say, yep. And by the way, I still have. Hey, Sharif, did you see my comments to you about the kissing bandit in between you and me about what are the allegations that I heard about the kissing bandit? Because I have not stated them on the show. I won't state them on the show, but I have heard X, Y, and Z, and I put it in our conversation, which shouldn't get out, as to why he's fucked up. Just saying that.
Oh no, I will check for it though. I missed it.
Yeah.
Hey, Sharif. So you understand where I'm coming from, right? And I've been saying it ever since we let go of AP. That and again, this is why it's fun to have it on record. The biggest problem, and again, I'm not blaming players. I'm not even blaming coaches because it's your first year, man. You got to, like this. It was nice to see Pete Carroll actually flipping his mind. Like I was like, awesome. That's great. That means he's not trying to be friends with these guys. He's trying to actually. Now I don't know how good that's going to do because at the end of the day, we know that in a football team, no individual player can win a game for us. Well, it's the same in a football team. No individual coach can win a game for us either. So I don't know what the hell he's going to do to tell his son be better, but his son needs to be better at teaching offensive line, right? I don't know if it's going to be a Joe Philbin thing. I have no idea, right? I have no clue. But what I've been saying, Sharif, is if you want to blame anyone, and I'm not even trying to blame anybody, but if you want to blame anyone, it's because last year we were sold. This is the plan. And the Raider way's back. 2 years before that, this is the plan. The Raider way's back. A few years before that, we got John Gruden back, and he's going to be with us for 10 years. The Raiders are going to be back. Okay? And that's the problem. So now everybody's got all this baggage of expecting Pete Carroll to be a savior in year one. And I was one of the first people because I learned my lesson after we hired AP. And I understand you, Sharif. AP, what he did is he brought the fans back. Say what you want to say, but I'm not even talking about NFL coaching now. The one thing AP was good at is motivating, and he motivated the fans to come back.
Yeah,
right?
I agree there.
So since the fans came back, now we were disappointed that we won 4 games. So all of a sudden, like, in what fucking reality world does anyone live where the year before an NFL season you won 4 games, but the next year you're all of a sudden supposed to be a Super Bowl contender and a playoff team? Explain to me the world, because I don't know where that exists. I live in reality. Reality is 2 more games of winning would be better than last year. Less than 4 would be worse. Pete Carroll, hold on, Cap, hold on. Pete Carroll, Captain Jack said, Pete Carroll should be good enough to get 7 and 8 games. Absolutely, Cap. If he wasn't playing in the AFC West and where all 3 teams made the playoffs. If he was playing in a weak division, you're absolutely right. He's not. Harbaugh came in year 1, Cap. You know what he did? He got his boys from Michigan and put in his plan. He went into the playoffs. Sean Payton knows what he's doing. He got rid of Russell Wilson. Did you guys remember that shit? And he was getting busted. His balls were getting busted for getting rid of Russell Wilson. Guess what happened? They made it to the playoffs. All dumbasses, or I'm not talking about the fan bases, but I'm just talking about the upper echelon that makes these decisions, are literally paying money to coaches that are not coaching for us. So stop thinking we're a playoff team right now. Believe my wife, that's my wife, Cap, who keeps saying, no, we're a playoff team, by the way. The argument is happening here at the house, too. So I'm asking you to please believe in what we saw the Lions do. Year 1 was trash. They were building. Year 2 was better, and they started to see the potential. Year 3, everybody even thought they might have made it to the Super Bowl. That's us. And you know what, Sharif, Raf, Captain? I would be totally happy if we were a Super Bowl-ish contender in 2027 when the Super Bowl is in SoFi. How wonderful would that be? That would be amazing. So that's what I'm looking forward to. In the meantime, I will not look at this Raider team with rose-colored glasses. I will evaluate them as I see fit. We have a shitload of year 1, year 2, undrafted players, and trying to mix it in with a few stars. But honestly, tell me, Cap, when you go, who is our star? Like when you're saying, who's the star? The star, not potential star. Who is the actual proven stars of the current Raider team right now? Because you can name them in one hand. But go ahead, Cap.
Yeah, and I'll give you that. Got somebody by the name of Smith who plays quarterback. He's a star.
Yes.
You got a guy by the name of Max Crosby. He's a star. And honestly, that's it. That's it. The other guys that might fit the rest of your hand, maybe JPJ, maybe.
No. He hasn't proven it yet. Not proven.
That's what I said. But I said maybe. And that's because he has the potential. No,
I don't want potential. Now you're forgetting 2 names.
Fuck you, Angelo. I said he has 2 of them. Two.
No.
Two.
2 names. You're forgetting 2 names.
2.
How about Jamal Adams? You're not going to say Jamal Adams? Jamal Adams is a star.
No,
No.
he's not. No, Jamal Adams is a damn good NFL player that's playing for us. Damn good star in the past.
Okay, you
And-
also forgot Brock Bowers. Hollywood Raider said Bowers. Bowers is a star, proven already.
Well, okay. He's proved it his rookie year, and I think he can do it his sophomore year, but we need to see it this year.
And
There
you
are
forgot two more. Daniel
Miller-
Carlson and AJ Cole are both stars.
Okay. Then, yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
the best kickers in football. I apologize for forgetting the best
Counts,
kickers.
Cap. It counts.
Wow.
You have to go down, and yeah, even when I saw the very first game that God, what's his fucking name? The guy who was the very first game he was the coach was against the New Orleans Saints, the offensive line coach. His first game was against the Saints. And I was there in the Superdome. And I said, I was just talking about how great Shane Leckler and Sebastian Janikowski were. They were stars. And the New Orleans Saints fan laughed his fucking ass off at us. He said, dude, they're fucking kickers. And I understand the connotation because the rest of the team sucked ass. So you will forgive me if I don't know that AJ Cole and Carlson are stars. I will give them that if you're going to have that in that. But again, I can name two. Sharif, you can name more than two, great. But I can name two, and it's Geno Smith and Max Crosby with the potential of, like I said, Bowers is kind of like 2.5. But he needs to do it another year.
And AJ Cole and Daniel Carlson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fight night.
Yeah, it's
Hollywood,
like
you would have had fun listening to Wednesday night show with Captain Jack and me and Severe, because that was very fun to see two different points being pointed out in two different ages with two different ways of thinking, and it was super nice. This tonight, Hollywood, is all of us venting out our frustration with what we saw last night. So
That's true. And Jimmy G was a porn star. Sharif and also Rafa. Anything? I mean, because again, I need to shut up and let my blood pressure go down.
Yeah, I understand it about that. But here's the thing. I mean, the wide receiver room, it's always looked like a log jam, and there's like somebody who shows like every preseason that never actually does anything on the NFL. Because the online and of course the wide receiver, because they just wanted to show up the real value, not to be practice squatted. And the online hope they just feel like they just wanted to find a groove. And the linebackers just like White and Evans should be both thinking about coaching. And Love, I was about right about Love because it's very likely for making like a value. I will bet it all. But they just wanted to get like a lot of the impact because I pursue that some plays that look like a little bit lost and struggle with the physicality of the game because he definitely looked like a year behind for the Mania for the NFL from lower level, but was in a kickoff coverage a bunch of times, line at the onside because they didn't make like any tackles, but it was reasonably quick down the field. Was an early Love when Love tackle the KR inside the 5, maybe got the finger of the guy for the end of the tackle. Pause. But they also have like a great point to not get really confused. I know this is the first game of the preseason, but as a matter of fact, we had to think very well. We had to think very well because I know there's a lot of mistake because we're not like the Raiders of back in 2024 with Antonio Pierce. That comes for the past, and I'm not criticized because what we need it for is much improved, and of course, what we need it for is more tackle, more power, more deliverance and more focusing on all about for the offensive line. And of course, the next tab is gonna be like tackle. Everything about for like the tackle because
Yes,
we need to improve it.
yes. Do y'all remember the clip of John Gruden in camp in the film room saying, "I want better fucking execution"?
Exactly.
That
Oh yeah,
definitely comes in. And I think, Cap, what a lot of fans are feeling right now, you just don't expect that egregious lack of fundamentals from a Pete Carroll type team. It makes you think, what have you been doing the past few months that your first display before the world or exhibition and you're missing tackles and some of the things that we saw last night, like I said, goes down to fundamentals and it falls on Pete Carroll. And you don't expect that from him.
Exactly.
So it makes you think like, man, how it's a little discouraging because we all felt great and rejuvenated. He was here, he's gonna right the ship. And yes, it's just one game, but some of the things that we saw was inexcusable.
And that's the, by the way, Matt, I understand what you're saying too. And believe me, a lot of us say that it's preseason, but what Sharif is saying is very valid. Yes, it is preseason. So can you show us basics? Just the basic understanding of trying a lot harder with things that you were supposed to be working on, right? I mean, I at one point, I don't know if you guys caught it, and I don't know if you caught this, Sharif. They showed on camera Pete Carroll kind of yelling at his son.
Wow.
And it sounded like it had to do with the O-line. Like he was like, oh my God. Right. And I was like, yeah, that's good. Thank you. Thank you for not hiding it. Like, yes, Pete, show your real emotion.
I did. Yeah. I did not have the sound on last night. So when I was doing the play-by-play, I did not hear anything. And I'm actually kind of glad because it was a fucking Seattle Seahawks broadcast. It was a Seahawks broadcast that was on the NFL Network. So I'm kind of glad. It's like, and I don't know who the girl is. I just know I recognize her, that she has that whiny voice like this, and I'm glad I didn't have to fucking listen to her. I'm just saying.
And usually we have to cop out as fans and we can say, well, there were no starters. We can't say that last night. And that's what makes it even more glaring because Seattle didn't play any starters.
So you just don't expect them to have their way completely, particularly their offense against our defense. And the missed tackles, the lack of consistent interior pressure, a secondary that looks like, they are working against each other instead of with each other. These were our starters. So we can't even hide behind that. Well, wait till the starters come out. And there was such a gap or lack of grasp of understanding of the basics as Transplant was talking about. So that's what's very alarming about this. Yeah, the game doesn't count, and the team showed some moxie overall, and we feel good about what Cam Miller displayed. But as how that translates into the 2025 season and a reasonable expectation of the playoffs, I don't necessarily see it. I would be delirious if we could win 8 games. I could foresee us being 0-2 before things even get started, because the Chargers have had our number for a little while now, and the Patriots, we never play well over there, and I could see Vrabel and all of them just really being up to it, and Drake Mays just putting on a clinic on this defense, still trying to gel and figure things out.
Hey, Cap, you're gonna laugh at this. My wife keeps calling us, you and me, bastos. Can because we've been our potty mouths, Cap. Our potty mouths.
Hoi, hoi, mine eye.
Oh my!
And I like your Asawa, but hoi, mine eye.
Oh,
She's laughing
man.
right now, Cap. She's died.
Okay,
Oh,
okay. And apologize to everybody because I'm gonna head out. And right now it is 12:10 a.m. East
Yeah.
Coast.
Yeah,
You know
it
what
is.
time it is?
I
Because
know what time it is.
it is. It is because Capitana Fucha celebrate his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Ralph!
Oh, wow.
Thank
Happy,
you,
happy
thank
birthday.
you,
There you go.
thank you, thank you, thank you,
Wow. All the best.
thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm turning 32 years old. I'm still young, not that
Yeah, you
old.
are. Yeah, you're young.
He went silent for some reason.
Rafa,
Ralph, we can't hear
My
anything you're
son.
saying, Ralph.
Your
Oh,
mic,
You got to say it all again.
your mic cut out. We didn't hear anything
Mic was
after.
cutting off. My mic was cutting off. Okay.
Yeah,
Start
32
over,
years
Cap.
old.
Happy birthday, Ralph!
Oh, thank you,
Happy
thank you, thank
32.
you, thank you. All right, so I just wanted to tell you, thank you everybody. I'm 30, turning 32 years old. I'm still young, not that
What a
old.
good age.
Still good. I'm still
Yeah.
kicking ass. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So salute to y'all and much love and bless to everybody. So this is Raider Nation, motherfuckers. There you go.
There you go. Feliz cumpleaños. Feliz cumpleaños.
Gracias,
amigo.
gracias. Thank you, Cap Jack. Thank you.
Enjoy.
There you go.
Raph was great.
Yeah.
Raph was great. He was getting 32, Cap. Wow. That's
Yeah.
you know what's fun. The greatest thing for Raph, who just left the program, that he's 32 is he will actually see our team win a Super Bowl. He will
Yes.
see it in his lifetime.
He will.
Yeah, I hope so.
Doesn't get hit by a truck that Sharif accidentally, rolls him over on in New York, right, Sharif? As long as he stays away from New York in trucks, right?
But yeah, but that's a good age. Remember, Madden was 32 when he took over. I
Yeah.
think Gruden was what 34 or 32.
He's 33.
so-
Yeah, that's
right.
great.
Man, yeah. Ooh. Yeah,
By the
I hope
By
he
the way,
lives to see it.
Sharif and Cap. So Billy John, who's an Eagles fan, he was asking for real.
I was going to get
Yeah.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Go
I
ahead,
think,
Cap. Go ahead. You go.
I do believe that transplant, Angelo answered your question, that you do have decent cornerbacks on the Eagles, but Jacorian Bennett should be, if not a starter, he will definitely be your nickelback. And the nickelback will be better than the band in Canada. But I do like Nickelback, by the way. But he will be a integral part of your defensive backfield. I like Nickelback. And people say that that's like pussy rock.
Nickelback's great, Cap.
I like Nickelback.
No, Nickelback's amazing. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. EMAC, fuck you. Warren Sapp, no, don't even go there, brother. I'll put you on timeout right now.
I think Bennett will do well for them if he gets the opportunity to be behind that front seven or that D line, which helps a corner like him. When he was healthy for us, he was solid across the board. He might not be the best tackler, but he seldom looked bad out there or lost or beat, particularly on deep plays. So I think the Eagles and their GM in particular saw something in him.
Yeah.
And he's gonna help them to a good degree, I think.
And let me add this.
Read
Oh,
the
sorry.
room, EMAC. Read the room. Read the temperature. Okay.
Don't get him going, EMAC. Don't get him going. So Billy John. So here's the thing, right? And when you're looking at your own depth chart, you guys did a great job drafting last year in where you were able to get both Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, right? And they became, Quinyon Mitchell is basically your Patrick Surtain, right? I mean, like you instantly, which is, by the way, one of the reasons why a lot of people thought we should have gotten Will Johnson. Remember that, Cap? Number 6 pick overall, Will Johnson. And then we had a chance to still get him in the second round. All right. So, but anyway, I digress. Let me stop my Raider rant of getting mad at them. Quinyon Mitchell was great. And then they took Cooper DeJean, made him the nickelback. So here's where Jacorian Bennett will come into play for you guys. He's going to come into camp right now in preseason. They're going to try him out. They're going to play him to see what he can do. But it's basically going to be a battle between him and Ringo. All right. And I think Bennett will be better than Ringo. So I think your starting cornerbacks, when it's all said and done, will be Quinyon Mitchell on one side, Jacorian Bennett on another side, and then your nickelback will be Cooper DeJean, and you guys will be very scary. I mean, just keep in mind the fact that Jacorian Bennett not shut down, but he locked up pretty good Chase. Remember, Captain Jack, when we played Cincinnati?
He definitely did that. But I was going to say, I had a fucking joke. Oh, shit. And it was, Ringo. God damn, Ringo's older than me, man. He's one of the best drummers in the world, but he's not a good defensive back. He's a really good drummer. You said Ringo. I'm just saying.
I get it. Got it. Yeah. I got it, Cap. Sorry. So a little slow there. Yeah, Kelly Ringo is right now the starting left cornerback, but I think that job's going to end up going to Jacorian. So my personal opinion.
Eric. Welcome to the show, Eric. And see, we have Crazy Cooter, who's a Vikings fan. We have Eric Sanchez, who's a Carolina Panthers fan. By the way, Eric, I'm a very good friend of Pink Fanfer. So, you can tell Pink Fanfer that you were in the show here as well. And so, like I said, we got fans. We had DZ, who's a Charger fan. So, EMAC is a Seahawks fan. Carson, definitely not Carson Palmer. Come on, man. Read the room. Sharif, go ahead, brother, before I blow a gasket.
Oh, well, I gave my input on Bennett. I agree with transplant. And he's battle tested. I mean, coming from a division where he had to play against Herbert, Mahomes. He did have that noteworthy game against Burrow and the Bengals. And when healthy, he was always solid for us. He never looked like a DJ Hayes, to throw a reference.
Yeah.
So far from it. He's a diamond in the rough. And if he can be healthy this year, and being, I think they lost Darius Slade to Pittsburgh. That's not a bad piece to have. I wish we would have held on to him, but I understand the thinking. Once Wilkins was out of here, you had to get another body up front.
And Sharif, that's what I was saying too, is we're going to end up drafting. Let's say we win the 6 games that I think we'll win. Okay. We're going to draft anywhere between number 7 and number 12, right? We're going to end up getting the best interior defensive player, whoever it is, whoever the star defensive tackle is, that's who we're drafting. Watch. It's that or the best offensive line, because that's what they did with Emmitt Smith. I don't know if you're, and again, by the way, just so that you guys know that I don't hate Genty. All right. My ceiling and hope for Genty would be an Emmitt Smith type, right? That's what I would hope he could become. He might be closer to like a Ricky Williams, which also, maybe, right? But no matter what happens, he is definitely not Barry Sanders, meaning he needs an O-line to open up holes for him. Yep. And if you look at Emmitt Smith's rookie year, they did not have Troy Aikman yet, but Emmitt Smith already had Moose. He already had Daryl Johnston, and they were already gelling. The problem was their O-line was still learning. They did have Nate Newton, but they had they didn't have the full pieces yet, right? Yeah. So he only rushed for 940 yards, I think it was, playing 15 games. So he averaged like 3.9. The very next year, after they got the line that they needed, right? That guy went off for 1,500 yards, and then the legend of Emmitt Smith started. All right, so that's what I'm expecting for Genty. I'm expecting him to not be a great fantasy pickup. So feel free to take Ashton Genty, everyone, in the first round of the fantasy draft here on the Captain Jack Show. You know, like we did last year, Cap. I had 18 players on the Silver and Black Showdown. So you guys want Genty, take him, right? Now, what I will say, hey, that's my guy, Cap. East Coast Gridiron is a great man to have on the panel. That's Dante. He is so smart, Captain Jack. He is, I mean, I'm telling you, Cap, he will blow your mind with his college knowledge, this guy. He watches college, Sharif, the same way I watch boxing. This guy is insane with the knowledge. Insane with the knowledge. And Dante, if you had a chance, man, please. I want to introduce you to Captain Jack, Dante.
Yeah, I apologize, but I had and as you guys know, I suffer from leg shit, and I had two, not just one, but two Charlie horses at the same fucking time. So I had.
That's rough, Cap. You got to walk it off.
Yeah,
walk it off, Cap. Walk it off. I got it. So
okay,
Ty, I'll answer your question. And Sharif, maybe you could go first. How well do you think JJ McCarthy will do now that he's the starter for the Vikings?
I can't really put my head in that space, not following the Vikings at all, honestly. Being so embroiled with what's happening with us. But I don't know. The Vikings are a peculiar franchise. You know, they're historic, but they always seem to be snake bit. So even if they exceed regular season expectations, regardless of who the quarterback may be, whether it's Dante Culpepper or whoever throughout the years, come playoff time, they will find some way to collapse. So, you know, I don't have any personal hatred or anything for them like that. But, and we did get a Super Bowl courtesy of them. So thank you for that. But I don't really have an expert opinion on how McCarthy may do over there.
Okay. All right. I'll answer it for you because I'm playing fantasy football in a few leagues. And then we have our own here, the Silver and Black Showdown. It's a guillotine league, by the way, which is insane. I don't know if you've ever played guillotine league before, Sharif, but basically you have 18 players drafting on the draft day. And by week 1, you could be the one eliminated. It's like it's last man standing. So, and then when your team gets eliminated, all of the players you pick goes into a pool that everybody else could do a silent auction bidding on. So it's actually quite fun. Very, very fun. We have 805 Raider Paul and Severe's on it, and a whole bunch of the Raider Nation content creators are on it. So it's pretty fun. So anyways, to the question of how well do we think JJ McCarthy will do? So first of all, JJ McCarthy was one of the quarterbacks that was talked about that could have possibly have gone to the Raiders when we had God, why am I forgetting his the GM that used to be the Chargers GM? Sorry, I'm forgetting his name right now.
Yes.
Thank you. So he said the reason why he didn't take JJ McCarthy or he didn't take any quarterback at all at the time was because he thought he was going to have the job for a bit. In hindsight, he was saying he might have made some different moves if he knew he only would have had 1 year, right? Now, having said all of that, JJ McCarthy got a lot of good hype, especially after the combine. Chris from Protect the Shields podcast is a diehard Michigan fans and absolutely does not believe JJ McCarthy is as good as people think he is.
I agree with that.
Okay. Where I'll push back, I'm not necessarily saying I'm disagreeing. Where I'll push back is Kevin O'Connell has been touted as a quarterback whisperer and genius of sorts, and he took Sam Darnold and look what he did with him and look what he does. And if he is willing to gamble his young career with the Vikings on this kid, he must see something, because you know how this goes. If the JJ McCarthy experiment goes bad, he gets fired. All the good, great, the NFL, man, they have a short memory, and all the good Kevin O'Connell's already done, that's out the window if JJ McCarthy fails. So I believe that they're expecting JJ McCarthy to play in his system, not overplay the system, just play the system. And keep in mind that how nice would it be that for your, technically, this really is his rookie year. Oh, that's cool, Cap.
For those that, like I said, this is a Viking World Order coin, okay, which was presented to me by, and I can't remember. I unfortunately, let's see if I can see who it is. Oh, Sir Colors. Okay, yeah, Sir Colors, because the Vikings have their own hierarchy. Everybody's Sir this, Sir that, circumference, Sir Shade, Sir.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So, yeah, so Sir Colors,
Sir Todd Nielsen.
Yeah, no, that's Crazy Cooter though, but he is a member.
Sir Cooter.
Yeah, Crazy Cooter there. So I just want to say I am of a kindred nature with Vikings.
Vikings. So let me finish, Todd, by saying, I think that just like what you're doing, you are hoping that Kevin O'Connell is that guy and that he picked the right horse. But I have to agree with what Dante's saying, East Coast Gridiron, where I think they might regret letting go Sam Darnold, because they probably could have paid Sam Darnold maybe even less than Geno Smith and would have still have had a good year again, and they could have still been letting JJ McCarthy develop some more. This is essentially JJ McCarthy's rookie year. So the one thing I'll say is at least he's got some great receivers to pass to. I mean, you know, obviously he's got Justin Jefferson, but I'm talking about when Jordan Addison finally gets out of suspension, he's not half bad. Your tight end is pretty good, right? So, you know, at least if you put a rookie quarterback with some good receivers, and as long as he gets protected, he might do well. He might do well. So
I agree with Matt Marinovich, and a good kind of comparison mechanism is he's Bo Nix. And as long as the team, and obviously he's got a great bunch of receivers, you know, they made Sam Darnold look so good last year that the Vikings are going to be a good team. And as long as JJ doesn't do things to fuck up, they will be good there, Crazy Cooter. I think so. But honestly, I think that they should have paid Sam Darnold to stay.
And that's what Dante's saying, Cap. East Coast Gridiron. That's what I was saying too, is they could have paid Sam to stay and help JJ develop. You see that, Cap?
Yeah.
So Dante says Bo Nix slander.
Well, is East Coast a donkey fan?
No. He's actually no. He's an analyst for like college football stuff, but his NFL team is the Jaguars, and he shits on the Jaguars. He doesn't think they're going to do good. He thinks we're going to beat the shit out of them. I was like, man, I don't know about beating the shit out of them, but
yeah, well, hey, East Coast, I'm here in Tampa, so if you're close, we'll have to get together.
Yeah, no, Dante's great. I was because I can't man the comms yet. I was gonna try to have Dante be our special guest on Sunday, but until we could figure that out, Cap, you know.
I get it. After the show, you tell me what to fucking do, and I will give you the keys to the kingdom. Okay.
I was trying to explain to Dante that unlike other Raider shows, where because his takes are very analytical and very real opinionated based on stats and stuff, that he feels that on all these Raider fans, he gets a lot of hate. But I told him that your show, Captain Jack, is an all-encompassing sports show that welcomes all people, even trolls like Emac sometimes can get on. So this is really more about bringing someone as knowledgeable as Dante to speak to the masses about just overall football in general. And of course, he has his takes with the Raiders. And I bet, I bet, by the way, Dante, you can put it on the chat if you want. You're probably sitting there when you were watching last night, saying to yourself, "I knew I was right."
Wow.
So Dante made some really good assessments about our Raider football team, Sharif, and last night might have proved his points. So
how did he feel about Genty? Does he think he'll do an Emmitt Smith like you're saying, like 800 to 900 yards his first year?
So see, Dante, you already got a question from Sharif. See, Sharif is asking you, Dante, what was your overall take of Ashton Genty, and what do you think he will do year one? And while he's typing that, has anybody else heard about Favre helping JJ? I didn't hear about that. What's Favre helping JJ to do?
Don't give me a straight line like that, because I know a couple
That's
things.
what I did, Cap. That's what I did. I needed the punchline.
Yeah. First off, the Brett Favre, for that, and he can do a lot of things, like put his junk on a picture and send it to female sports journalists. I'm just saying, or he could get money from people in Mississippi that's not due to him. I'm just saying, that's how Brett Favre, between junk picks and taking monies that's due to other people in the state of Mississippi, I'm sure that he can show him about that. He could probably show him how to be a better quarterback too. Not for nothing.
Hey, Cap, can you put up what East Coast Gridiron says to answer Sharif's question?
The
most recent one. It says, I think Ashton. Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go, Sharif. So this is what I've been saying, because our O-line is ass. He's saying Ashton Genty will become a good running back, but it won't be until next year. But if you're going to pick a rookie running back to be amazing this year, it's Omarion Hampton. And then Dylan Sampson of Cleveland will do pretty well too.
Well, Omarion Hampton just got dealt a blow with the left tackle being out for the year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question, actually. Now, what do you think about that, Dante? Captain Jack is saying, with Rashawn Slater out, is Omarion Hampton still the best rookie running back? Because I think it might be Travion Henderson if you're playing fantasy now.
And the other thing is that because Omarion Hampton is going to be splitting time with Najee Harris, providing that Najee Harris, his eye is okay, that's another consideration that you're going to have between the Charger running backs, is Najee Harris is going to be out there getting carries as well.
One concern I have about Genty transplant is it's not necessarily football related, but it can affect his football plan. It was reported that he bought a $35 million mansion in Vegas.
Yes, he did do that.
And to me, that offers a glimpse into his focus. Now, I'm the last man to try to tell somebody how to spend their money, but I know realtors love impulse buyers like him who come into large sums of money, and you haven't even really ran a down yet for the Raiders. It may seem like it's irrelevant, but it isn't. If you feel what I'm coming from, because we've seen a lot of players get swept away by their new reality, their new standard of living, and then it affects the focus, their intensity, their approach to the game. Hell, that's DeMarcus Russell.
he got all that money and started making acquisition, helping out his family, and we know the rest.
I will say that is for the 95% of the time you are correct, but you also have to factor in the fact that Genty is a service brat, and the fact that he is a military kid, he is grounded much more than, because you threw up Jabustus Russell, who came from nothing and all of that. And that's why and I know that we've had the Jamarcus discussion before about him losing a lot of his male folks in his life, which is one of the reasons why he just didn't do well. But the fact is that Genty is a service kid. He's from a service background. And yes, I am biased when I say this because I am also a service brat. But when you are a kid of the service, your ideology and your mindset, you are more mature than your standard peers in your group, because you move around a lot and you make friends. Because you have to go around, and the way you are, it builds character more. So I think that I saw that and I'm like, yeah, that's
right. That's not the best. That's not the best comparison I made, but the fact is, for many human beings, money changes the situation. I don't care what your background may be, because you don't see that type of money as a enlisted
person, or the children of military people growing up on bases or forts or overseas or whatever. And I'm not saying he's wrong, but it's worthy to pay attention to. Does he? I mean, if it means that he wants to stay here for a long time, great. But if the money is affecting him to the point where
what I don't know is, and I don't know whether this has been brought out, and if it hasn't been brought out, then maybe you can say this: is his mom and dad going to be sharing that house with him? Because if it's one of those, I bought my house, but it's more of a this is a present to my folks type of things, like a lot of the people in the past have done. Then
I would think so.
Yeah,
because he's also from Haiti, and that's traditionally one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere. So I'm glad for his success.
I just want him to stay grounded,
because there's going to be a lot of adversity on this team, as far as the lackluster O-line, us not employing a fullback, which I think could help him, adjusting his stance, which maybe I think they should reconsider that to give him every possible mental advantage, because you don't want him to get inside his head if he starts off slow this year.
And then that makes the headline,
well, they're asking me to do something that I don't typically do. I'm used to doing it this way, da-da-da. So, we shall see how it plays out. But we're going to need him to be everything that most fans believe he can be. But behind this O-line, that's going to be quite a task.
I was going to say, Cap, did you see what Dante said about Joe Alt?
Yeah. But okay, so you have and like I said, great. Joe Alt's going back to his natural position of left tackle. That's great, but you're still down one great lineman, which means whoever comes in and plays right tackle is not as good as the guy that just left right tackle to play left tackle. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting for their fucking center to go out. So James has to come into the game. I'm waiting for that.
All right, Cap. I'll read you right now what they have on their depth chart. So their left tackle is Joe Alt. Their left guard now is Zion Johnson. Their center is Bradley Bozeman. Remember, he played for Carolina. Now,
Yeah.
remember, the right guard was the guy I kind of wanted, Cap. Mekhi Becton. They have Mekhi Becton as the right guard. And then the right tackle that you are speaking of, sir, as of right now, is a man by the name of Trey Pipkins III. Trey Pipkins III.
Yeah, and he was their lineman last year, or the year before last. He sucked.
So he's the current right tackle. The only thing I can tell you about him is he's 307 pounds, 6'6", 28 years old.
Yeah, he's big, but he sucks.
So there you go.
And where's my boy James playing on that depth chart?
Oh, he's the backup to Bradley Bozeman.
Boy, I hope that Bozeman get. And I never hope for an injury on anybody. I mean, it's great when they get injured, and I say that's fantastic. But I hope to see James in the Raiders-Chargers game.
Speaking of centers, transplant, do you realize that our old friend Rodney Hudson had a birthday, I think about a week ago, but he just turned 36.
Ooh.
Look, what the hell? Bring him down, see what he got left. And while you're at it, maybe Incognito could give us something too, because we're going to have to try to do something with what we saw last night. 36 isn't old for an old lineman, particularly a center
where there's not, extensive movement involved.
I can't believe he's only 36.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's as of a week ago. So, he's born in July. So
I was like, wow. So it made me think. It might sound far-fetched, but what the hell? It's worth a shot.
Hey, man. Why not?
I think the question is, because we've seen Richie Incognito recently. He looks kind of like he can go out and play tomorrow. I haven't seen Rodney recently, so if Rodney's in good shape, then great. But if Rodney Hudson is now looking like I can't remember who the guy, Sam Adams, and I'm not talking about the Sam Adams offensive lineman for the Patriots. I'm talking about the Sam Adams, the defensive tackle for the Raiders. Okay, then that's an issue, because Sam Adams was just big and girthy, and that's why people couldn't block him, because he was fucking just too much to get out of the way. So if Rodney's in decent shape, hey, who's to say that he can't make a comeback?
Right.
I mean, hell, I'd love somebody to mentor JPJ or something. I was going to tell you, this is a fun fact for you, Sharif, my buddy. So did you know that when we traded Rodney Hudson in 2021, we traded him in a 7th round selection to the Arizona Cardinals. What we got back in exchange was a 3rd round selection, and who we picked that year was a guy by the name of Malcolm Kuntz, sir. Malcolm Kuntz is what came out of the Rodney Hudson trade.
Oh, you know what? I'm really hoping Kuntz can pick up where he left off. A lot of times players who come off a catastrophic injury, there's like a period of adjustment or even trepidation because of the nature of it, and you're talking about ACLs and things like that. Because, he wasn't very impressive the other night as far as while he was out there. So, and that's only, just a few plays, what have you. But we're going to need him to regain that 2023 form in the worst way. We can't go back to Max Crosby being a one-man show, because basically we're going to replicate what happened a year ago. And we might just score a few more points because of who our quarterback is, but we will lose games late 8 out of 10 times because we can't stop anybody.
No, I agree with you. And in fact, Sharif, I think you were here on the show with me when I gave my whole Malcolm Kuntz take when they gave him that contract. I said I didn't like it. 12
Wow.
million for 1 year. I didn't like it at all. And I'll tell you why. I would have preferred you give me a 2-year deal, make it more average of a 8 million, 8, 9, because I still need him to prove to me that leg injury didn't
Right.
really mess him up. And last night, Sharif, let's be honest, he didn't look
Yes.
great.
No.
Now, I understand it's preseason, but Tyree Wilson didn't look bad, is all I'm saying. And everybody keeps shitting on Tyree Wilson, and I'm the only one that keeps defending the kid. He didn't look bad.
No, that's not true.
Oh, that's
not
true.
true.
That's
I
true.
haven't-
Cap, you back me on it. You back me on it. When I
No,
say
I
me, it's a collective we, Cap. It's a collective we.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
but yes, you're right.
Well, yeah, it would be good. It would be good to see him perform.
Yes. But
Yeah, I
Malcolm
think
Kuntz last
that's
night,
the wild
Sharif,
card. Yes. Tyree Wilson would be a great surprise if he developed into half of the player that we thought he was at 7, where we took him. Because remember, Max worked with him last year extensively. We're saying, okay, this is his shot. This is his time. It didn't pan out. This is year 3. There's no more excuses. He's been a big dick tease thus far. Now it's time to shit or get off the pot. And I think the only reason why he's still here is because we have him on a rookie deal.
yes.
So and you don't want to let him go too fast, and he shines for somebody else.
Yes.
You know, so
And by the way, that's what barring injury, like what happened with Nate Hobbs. You know, we let him go. He got injured, right? Maybe Spillane will do good with New England. Maybe he'll get injured too. Like, who knows? Jack Jones, by the way, already got injured. He signed with Miami. He already got carted off. He's injured. So, like I said, man, yeah, that was breaking news yesterday. Jack Jones got hurt and was carted off the field. We don't know how serious that injury is. So, and again, I'm not wishing any ill will on any of our old players where they went. I'm just saying that I wasn't upset when, you know, like Jack Kenna would always rip me for this because he really wanted to keep Spillane. But for me, I'm like, we got 3 linebackers for the same price as getting Spillane. So why would I wanted to keep one Spillane when I could have Landon Roberts, Devin White, and Jermaine Pratt for all the same price? Like, that's fine. And again, my whole thinking is because I'm not in a win now mode, which is my entire point, Sharif, that you agree with. What will kill you as a Raider fan?
You're younger than me in chat, so you know you got more of a window of grace, chronologically speaking. You know, I've never seen, well, just like you, I guess, never seen a Super Bowl in my adulthood, but I've been an adult longer than you. So, you know, I'm too old to keep saying next year, and I'm watching other organizations turn it around in 2 to 3 years.
Right. And if we keep the same coach, Sharif, if we stop fucking firing coaches, we'll get there too. We'll get there too. I honestly believe that Captain Jack will be the happiest man in the world because our Super Bowl run will be in LA, which will be very close. All right. And here's the best part, Cap. I don't quote me on this, but I hear that here where I live, that 2028 might be the Allegiant Stadium Super Bowl year again. So could you imagine us having a Super Bowl run in 2027? Maybe we make it, maybe we don't, but now our team knows we can do it. And the next year is a home Super Bowl? Oh my gosh, in your lifetime, that would be amazing. So I'm just trying to say that to say, don't get too upset with this year. Be patient.
I'm not. Like I said, the only thing that I would like out of this year is for them to cover the 6.5. The same thing I asked for last year when it was 7.5, and I thought, oh, that's easy. That 7.5, that 8, you know, winning 8 games, that's or maybe it was 6.5 last year, and I said winning 7 games. Oh, that's easy. That's
right.
Easy.
You did. Yeah, you did. That's right. You made a bet.
That was easy. No, that's the easiest bet I ever made. Well, I made it again.
Right.
At minus points, but at least if I win, I win. And And then I put in some. Well, okay, I'll throw the things in. You know, for the winning the playoffs. That's okay. That's whatever. Fuck money. And then the other one was Ashton Genty as Rookie of the Year, and I thought that might pan out.
No.
Well, if I tell you what, if the offensive line is like it is, no, that money was then that was a stupid bet. But I will say this for all that are here, it's going for 1 o'clock in the morning here, and I am still tired. It was actually, I think, yelling at Sharif woke me up a little bit.
Okay.
And I thank you for that, Sharif, for waking me up at that time.
Sharif was the black coffee you needed, Cap.
Yeah,
I said it. I said it.
Yeah. But I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank Angelo for being here. I wish we could have had. I wanted to see Navman back again for all the people that are on his channel, because he just didn't get a chance to come back on, which that sucked. But hopefully another time. But I'm going to say for all you folks out there, I appreciate you. I'm going to log this puppy off only because, and this is for you, Angelo, only because I have to log off this show in order for Angelo to have the keys to the kingdom. And I don't know what the fuck it is, but he's going to show me when we're logged off. So, having said that, and Ed Winch already beat me to the punch, good night. And we will, what's tonight? It's Friday. I will have a show Sunday. I'll have a show Sunday.
And if I'm manning to come, Dante, you will be our special guest. As long as I can man to come. You will love Dante, Captain Jack. He will, in fact, he'll break down all of the preseasons that we didn't. Like, I don't know how good Shedeur Sanders did. You were talking about it earlier, but I was like, I didn't even watch that game. So
I didn't.
Well, be glad you didn't, because you would have felt so much. I don't want to say remorse or regret, but he looked good against their starting the first couple of series. Carolina played their starting defense, and he threw for the same amount of touchdowns that our entire team did. So
yeah, but Cam Miller threw for 2 touchdowns also, Sharif. So is that how many he threw for? Cam Miller threw for 2 touchdowns also. So
yeah, no interceptions, and as a fourth stringer with very few reps in that camp. You know, they basically had to put him out there because everyone else is hurt. He's fourth on their chart, and he didn't get the first team reps like some of the other people, Flacco, et cetera, et cetera. So with everyone looking at him on stage, I think he did remarkably well, especially the double coverage touchdown that he threw that was spot on in the corner of the end zone. Just
a thing of beauty.
But look at his gene food. So,
I'll check it out, but I'm going to agree with Cap on this one, that I'm not going to be upset that, I mean, because again, man, if I'm trusting the process, I got to trust the process. And there's a reason why they wanted Cam Miller as the 6th round pick. Was it 6th? We got him in the 6th round, right? Cam Miller?
Yeah.
And Cam Miller threw for 2 touchdowns. And in all honesty, didn't he look pretty damn good to you, Cam Miller? Looked pretty good.
He looked, that's why I said if, and Broncos fans look great. Okay, good. And Broncos fan, thank you for being here as well. But, you know, and I'm on record as saying that the Broncos are, in my estimation, going to win the AFC West this year. But, you know, that's if maybe, I don't know, they're godforsaken that maybe Bo Nix doesn't get a John Elway horse kick in the mouth, and he has to look like John Elway, and all his teeth are broken, but his jaw is broken, and he's not able to count, you know, to give, you know, cadence calls, so he's out for, you know, 8 weeks. Shit happens, is what I'm saying. Okay, but again, and again, Broncos fan for life. That's true. I swear, I did pick the Broncos to win the AFC West. But again, thank you for everybody being here. We will be here again on Sunday. Okay.
And lastly, Kat, I just want to say good night to both of you. Appreciate the time. Transplant, you always have something compelling and engaging to say. I appreciate you for that. But don't forget, some of our friends who are Raider content creators was cursing this team out a year ago for not tanking for that kid who played in Carolina today.
But now, all of a sudden, they've changed their tune. I respect anybody's position
when you're sincere and stand on your conviction. Hypocrisy and selective amnesia, I despise that. So as people were cursing out Antonio Pierce for winning in week 15 or whatever it was,
and now all of a sudden Shador isn't this, he isn't that, and that. Look who his daddy is, you know. So anyway, enough of that. Expect the best, but be prepared for the worst when it comes to the Raiders. Or maybe I said that wrong. Expect the worst, but hope for the best.
When it comes to
at least
we got it, Black Thanos. Thank you.
At least, Sharif, thanks for being on, brother. You take care as well, and have a good night at work or whatever. Or no, you're not working tonight, but the next time you are.
All right, Kat. Thank you too.
Thanks, Sharif.
All right.
All right. I'm going to. No, I would say I would have Angelo wrap us up, but I can't because he doesn't have the keys to the kingdom yet. So, having said that, I'm going to say good night to everybody here. Watch us on Sunday. Broncos fan for life. You can come back in. All of us can come back in. EMAC is here. Like I said, we had a Vikings fan. We had a Broncos fan. We had
Carolina.
We had DZ, who is a Charger fan. All we needed was a Chiefs fan.
We had a Jaguars fan with Dante.
Yeah, Jags fan. So I like the fact that we can all be here, and I enjoy that. Granted, it's Raider centric. It's going to be. It's Raider centric, but that doesn't preclude anybody from coming in. So tell your friends, if you are a fan of the other team, that if they want to spar or pot, what's how you do the pot, you know, with the swords, you know, on guard.
You're talking about fencing? Are you talking about fencing?
You want to fence with the old fucking
parry? You're talking about
parry,
pirate's parry? Yeah, a parry. Yeah.
Yeah. If you wanna parry, I think it's more like that. With the old fucking captain, the old fuck. Dueling.
Hey, here's a play on words for you, Cap, that you'll know. If you want to parry with your parry.
I knew it, and that was why I was like, say it's hard to say that. Parry. There you go.
Oh, that's funny.
We'll see.
Thanks,
everybody.
Matt.
We'll see everybody for being here. Yeah, so duels. Except dueling is more with guns, and that's usually dueling is with, you know, pistols, 10 paces, turn around and shoot. See, that's old school.
That's old school. That's when men were men, Cap, and the sheep were nervous.
And that's right. And thank you for finishing that. Take care, everybody. We'll see you for the next show. And then once this is I got to say goodbye to everybody over here. So we'll see you on the next time. I'm gonna do the out credit, and then we'll be gone. So we'll see everybody. Let me get the out credit here. I'll get it going.